we'll go ahead and start up this week with Tombstone, as he's in his in this dragon's lair, surrounded by coins and metal discs and other such random metal items that has been added to his hoard, to the dragon's hoard, as he's sitting alone. And Tombstone, I'd like you to add high or low, actually. We'll see.
Hi.
I'd like you to add 2 points of exhaustion,
Oh no.
as you've from hunger
Yeah.
and other such things, as you're, starting to grow a little parched as well. As you're sitting, biding time in this cavern, and amongst the echoing screams that go through this cavern, something else kind of breaks through that you hear, which surprises you. It's a voice calling out your name. It's a familiar voice, echoing off from the distance. This time, you're able to tell it's coming from further down the cavern.
I stand up. I double check. I listen closer.
Hearing another call again, it's Thunar's voice. Calling for
Thunar.
Tombstone.
What? He's not. He's not here.
From
Thunar!
deep within. And then you hear another call of Tombstone in Thunar's voice. And then another voice to join in. Eichley's.
Aw.
They're here. Ha I knew they'd come. That fat lizard. I take off running
I would
in that
never do
direction.
that.
And you start scrambling in that direction.
Mr. DM, I would like to control my character, please.
I would never do that. It would be. Oh, Just kidding, sorry.
And you start clambering around in that direction, heading toward there. And as you do so, you go deeper and deeper into this cavern, climbing over mounds and dunes of coins and metal. And as you finally, panting, reach the crest over one of these dunes, you see another wall, just the end facing in front of you.
Where are you?
And then from behind, you hear voices again. This time, Phelan, Havel, calling out your name.
Phelan? How? Guys, stay still, stay put. I'm coming to you. I take off running towards where I hear the voices.
And once again, climbing around, sliding down dunes. You find yourself sliding down back into your little volcano, coin volcano. Wide stone doors sealed in front of you.
That's strange. I could have sworn I heard them.
And then finally you hear everyone else. Eitri, Briar, even Karu, Sin, all calling out for you.
Are they really there? Surely they've come for me. I take off running one last time to the other side of the cavern.
And as you scramble about in the coins again, searching for these voices, you hear the booming deep rumble of Thumdarak's laugh as he's chuckling to himself. Oh. You really thought they'd come back for you, did you?
But of course, they're my clan. They would always come for me.
Like I said before, they've abandoned you.
Well, at least I have friends to abandon me.
Yes, my subjects, they only betray me.
As well they should, you nasty lizard.
Enjoy. As he falls silent again. This time, voices of your friends calling out from the distance, just out of reach, joining the screams.
Alright, well, these ones aren't real. But the real ones will show up. And I'll be able to tell which ones are real. Because Thunar doesn't sound like that. He wouldn't call out saying, Tombstone, Tombstone! He'd say, Tombstone! Right? Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I need to... I need to rest, but it's kind of hard to sleep with these screams. So... let's keep my hands busy. What to do? I'd like to start taking the coins and like rubbing them together and trying to like carve some of them into like little ninja shuriken stars.
Roll me perception.
Okay. With my exhaustion, is that we do an old school exhaustion or?
Oh, that's right. They changed exhaustion.
Because they changed how it works. I think I'd have disadvantage if it
Yeah.
was old school, and
Yeah,
I'd
it'd be
have just a
disadvantage.
negative penalty bonus. Okay, I'll roll disadvantage. That's a 9.
As you start, kind of just like using these coins or metal to kind of carve, if I'm getting this correctly, a like little throwing star.
Yeah, I'm trying to use friction of one of them to like carve into the other one.
As you do so, and as like you're moving it around, and the metal catches the light, the dim lights around you. You notice that as it catches that light and reflects it, it gives off a blackish green color.
That's strange. Hey, Phelan, you're here, right? Can you check out this coin? I start shambling to one side of the cavern. Oh, wait, he's not here. Only Icely, she knows magic. Start walking to the other side of the cavern. What? And I
Calls
stop.
back out.
No. It's not real. I'd know Icely. She would be invisible. Yes, she wouldn't say a word. Or she'd be flying, or doing some other shenanigan. Yes, that voice can't be her. Well, I'll sit down again. Best to conserve my strength. And I start rubbing the coins together again.
And roll me. What type of roll would that be? To craft a shuriken. Hold on.
Tinker's tools.
I don't get those.
Yeah, I guess just roll me like your choice of strength or dex check.
Okay,
Just
I'll roll
like-
dex.
All right.
At
I didn't know you could be
disadvantage
this
would
evil,
be-
Seth.
Would be 14.
Just you wait. So a 14 with disadvantage. You get it into like the star-ish shape.
Uh-huh.
It's not like super sharp or like has like that much of an edge. You think if you threw it hard enough, kind of like same with an arrow, it could stick into something.
Don't worry.
But it's something.
Eitri, you're gonna like these when I'm finished. And I begin to get up to like show them to him, and then I was like, oh wait, Eitri like starts. I'll sit down.
Eitri gets excited for like a couple of seconds and then just sort of like oh.
And oddly enough, you feel slightly refreshed from that. The working with your hands probably may kind of help clear your mind a bit. You're not sure. But remove 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh. Let's go.
Okay, now I'm confused.
I feel better. Maybe I could do something with these springs. Wonder if I.
All right. Then we'll move back to everyone else. As you all rested at the village, you were given kind of some shelter from by the word that's kind of traveling with y'all right now. And so you all wake up in this new village, and kind of there's in the morning, and as you know, people start waking up and the hum of activity starts. There's kind of pick up on some things. There's a lot of people are kind of like sticking together, talking in close groups, kind of keeping their voices low as they speak to each other in various degrees of either worry or excitement. And so you all wake up, and the green scaled ones are still there. The ones that Tombstone talked to earlier when y'all first arrived in the mountains. Seems that they were at least able to convince some people to get them housing and shelter for the night. And they are continuing to do their good work, so to say.
Good work.
As they talk to
Message.
the villagers and actions around. So, what are y'all gonna do this morning?
I think this might be easier than we thought.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Thunar. Well, we should probably spend our time trying to figure out what we should do about the disc and the curses. So, because as long as Thundercock has access to a treasure trove worth of these curses and discs, then there's no way that we could beat him.
You just now caught that? I've been calling him that for like 3 sessions already.
I must not have heard that. You must have said it so smoothly, I just didn't notice.
This was my first time hearing it too.
I have indeed been calling him that for a while.
What did I call him last time? Because it was an insult, but it was a Thunar insult.
So
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
We can steal them all.
Thunar, I'm sure you saw how big the piles of stuff was. Who knows how many are in that thing? I don't think we
So-
could steal them before you noticed.
His hoard is cursed. Like the items themselves are cursed.
No, specifically those items. The disc that, like, Ackley has one of, the ones that we've been looking at all last
Okay.
night. Specifically, those are. That somehow he's imbuing them with his curses, because he could. If we figured out that he can have a curse a day. So somehow.
So he's putting. Can I clarify this?
Mm.
He's putting dragon magic in the discs.
I guess.
And that's that different from Thunar magic.
Not really, I don't think. As far as I know, magic is not really. There's not really different kinds of magic in terms of, like, races. That'd be kind of racist.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. I also, like the rest of you guys, I've never studied a dragon before. Didn't even know they were, around.
I have a question. Does the like we're talking about or remember last session we found like coins and we found discs and we found multiple other metal things. But every time we seem to find something, it's like either like they're kind of specific items. I guess my thought was, is it kind of like, is there meaning in that?
Meaning in like
why,
why?
not like powers and stuff. Is it related to something? Because my thought is every time he captures somebody, or every time like he burned somebody, killed somebody, and captured them, the number of discs grow. But I didn't want to travel down that if it wasn't anything to look at. Does that make sense? I'm trying not to go down a rabbit hole, but
yes, that
but
makes
I
that
didn't
makes
know
sense.
if it connected anywhere.
Our current theory is that he's saving a disc a day because he gets 1 curse a day. But you might be on something.
Yes, but I was talking about in relation to like how many. I know that they make them and forge them, but
Oh, he's trying to say like how many does he actually have?
I guess like I was just trying to see like what the relation was of like why so many discs. Like I know you have to have so many, but
Mhm.
to
Then I
like
mean-
keep your curses.
As far as I would know,
But-
he's probably just getting as many as he can because he,
Actually, let me
think
ask this
dragons live.
question:
I think dragons live for a long time.
is there a ranking system in like the discs? Because some of them are smaller and some of them are bigger. Like, does that make sense?
Oh.
Yes.
Like, does that
It
is
does-
that
there's-
equivalent to the power that he has?
That's a good question.
That was my
Oh,
question I was trying to
you're asking
ask.
a good
but I took
question.
the
That's
long
a
way
good question.
Do you,
Good question,
do you-
but one
do you
that he
have a
can't
disc?
just answer us.
Do you have a disc, Icely?
We have a disc.
I whip
One
it at
powered and one not.
Thorn. Like a frisbee.
I take the disc. Can I see if it feels like the shard to me?
Roll an Arcana. Guys, this is a
did
historic
that, and
moment.
it doesn't.
I'm asking Thunar to roll an Arcana check. This is crazy.
+0.
I swear, if Thunar
11!
and I didn't.
It's above 10!
Reaching out, giving it a good sniff, a good whiff, so to say, as you hold this disc. It's magical, all right. Smells kind of like that shard thing before. Don't really know what it does, how it works or anything, but it's magical. Kind of the same feeling as before. It feels like it's practically like brimming, overflowing with magic almost. Like if it were a cup, if you just tilt it a
Okay.
little bit to the side, it'd spill out.
What does the
Wait.
shard feel like then? Does it feel like a freaking waterfall?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Can you hold both of them in your hand and test that with Arcana?
that.
Did we do that already or no?
Pretty
To
sure I
see
did
what
that
their
last time.
Yeah.
equivalence was? Can we see which one's stronger?
I think
I
Phelan
checked
already,
how they felt last
yeah,
time.
I think Phelan already
You
did
did
that
that?
last
Okay.
time.
Yeah,
and-
the disc feels like a storage device. It has magic in it, whereas the shard is like, it's just acts. It's
just
different.
be.
They were different.
Shard. Okay, hold on, everyone. Shard magic out. Disc magic in. Magic out?
Oh wait, but the disc obviously it's limited because you're putting it in. But the shard, you're saying it's unlimited because you're putting out magic, like it's like an
Well, the
infinite
way that the
device?
shard works, correct me if I'm wrong, Seth. There were no
I said
lines
6
going through
words.
the
How
disc.
did you get all that?
Yes, there were no lines going to.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one of the biggest differences between these discs and the shard is that the newest discovery in magic so far that we've made is that there are these sort of magical lines that seem to go through everything and to everything.
He said.
The shards are a convergence of all these lines. The disc has no lines.
While he's
Okay,
yapping,
okay. I
Can
remember
I
y'all
go-
talking about it.
can I say, well, I wonder what else is different? Look at a tree and like run up to it and try to punch it with like casting a spell, but using the disc instead of like a shard.
Okay, so you want to try to like draw power from the disc and punch a tree?
I'm just gonna see like, let's see what else is. Yeah.
Roll
See what else
Arcana
is
for me.
different in these shards. Stop it!
It's the worst thing.
Not well. Okay, so you as Phelan is just like y'all are like sitting around a small campfire, The village had made some food, and of course, being with the word, they just kind of gave you food, and so y'all are eating this breakfast around a fire, discussing the kind of all these things with the coins, the shards, trying to figure out what's going on, and Phelan launches into this kind of long explanation on his thoughts and kind of the interaction between the shards and the metals, trying to and as he's doing so, Dunar kind of looks at his disc, puts down his bowl, stands up, and while he's talking, looks to a distant tree, and charges it. Fists raised, punching, flowing it, pushing it toward the trunk, as you hear a resounding crack of fist against tree. Go through the camp.
Duno's out here playing Minecraft.
Dunar,
Through
what
the
are you
village.
doing? Dunar!
Dunar,
Magic out!
You try to draw magic from it, and you feel it. It's like kind of like dipping your hand in water. You can like feel it there. But as you try to like grab it and take hold of it, it pretty much nothing really happens. It's like you pull out your hand and it's dry, and your fist just smacks against the tree.
I'll walk back somberly.
Dunar, are you? I told you we can't use it. I tried that last night.
Maybe you can't use
Wait,
Dunar.
obviously you can't either.
it. And obviously you can. I was trying.
Where was I?
And,
200 words deep into a 15-word essay. That's where you were.
Probably.
And as you guys kind of continue talking, you hear a little bit of a argument break out in the village as two groups of these villagers, both with the kind of like yellowish scales, start kind of like pointing fingers and yelling at each other from across the village.
Are they trying to drive out the disciples?
So yeah, and if kind of tuning in and turning your attention, you hear shouts of heresy and falsehoods and lying. As kind of the villager at the forefront, kind of just in almost astoundment. That's not a word. Very astounded.
Astonishment.
Astonishment. Thank you.
I'm here for you, brother.
Almost astonishment, just kind of throws his hands like, so what are you gonna do? Are you just going to turn your back on the great speaker? As the other person just begins to try to defend themselves. Just, no. If you keep this up, this is truly what you're going to do. We're going to leave. And we're going to let the great speaker know, the voices and words know what you've done.
Wait, which one said that?
The anti.
Camp.
Yeah.
The anti-traitor.
The anti-traders.
The anti-historians?
The anti-traders, yeah.
The Nestorians.
The loyalists, I'll say.
Oh no! I'm a revolutionary.
How big are the groups in comparison? Is it like a large group? Is it like
it's just
even,
like,
or is it?
So it's just like two groups of like around 3 to 4. Not a big group, but there's like a kind of a larger group kind of like walked up to watch. You don't really you just woke up, so you don't really know like how many people are like susceptible to it. So in terms of like the majority of the village, you don't know, but it's just kind of like these two groups.
Where's the village elder?
Looking around, you see the village elder kind of standing off like near his dwelling, just like arms crossed within his robes, just watching pensively.
I'll let everybody else do what they want to do, but I would like to walk over to the village elder.
Okay.
I'll go with them.
I'd like to walk to the other group. The
Kinda
other two
hang
guys
back.
arguing.
Okay.
Anyone else?
As I walk away, Wade, take notes.
You hear a sigh and like
Please.
you hear a sigh as like he's like in mid bite, so he just like leaves the spoon in his mouth, pulls out the notebook and pen
Well,
like a pen.
We can eat too, just like
I can take notes.
I'm just if they say anything like really important that we should know about, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Define important. That's fine. I'll do it myself.
Sure.
Do you have a pen in your mouth? Sorry.
Oh, pulls out the spoon. Sorry, mid breakfast.
Well, you can finish your breakfast first. Just if you hear anything that's like doomsday style thing, you probably should like write it down.
Okay. Yeah, sure. As he grabs a book, props his bowl, like stuffs his book underneath his arm, grabs his bowl and spoon and starts following you.
Phelan, thank you.
Who's going with Phelan? Was it Sin?
Yes.
Where are they
You'll-
going?
To talk to the
I'm to
village
walk to the
elder.
village elder.
Okay.
Wade will nudge Sin, just like, did you hear that?
You're what?
Phelan thanked me.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. I think
You're-
I'm making
you're improving,
progress.
man.
I think I'm
I
making
think so.
progress.
I think anytime he's just really rude to you, you should just not respond. Like,
that goes
if
against
you
my
respond
nature.
back, in anger, like he's just gonna continue. We have this phrase. It's called "turn the other cheek," and so we had this game when we were in like elementary school, where we would slap each other on our left butt cheek, and the first person to bow out was the one who lost. But once upon a time, there was a very strong individual. He was playing for hours and hours and hours, beating everyone in the schoolyard. And then he turned the other cheek to continue playing, and it stressed his dominance. So sometimes you need to turn the other cheek.
You see Wade, like mid story, Wade pulls out his notebook, starts writing things down.
What?
You need to turn the other cheek. And by that I mean, if he wants to continue to hurt you,
Blasphemy.
if he wants to continue to hurt you, let him slap you on the other cheek. You've got enough ass to go around, right, Wade?
He'll finish like stop writing, look up with a raised eyebrow. I didn't know you felt that way, Sin.
Hey, that's how it goes. I'm comfortable enough that Seth won't introduce a gay character that I'm not worried about.
I appreciate the compliment, but I don't swing that way.
That's good.
I know, right?
Wait, I hate gay people. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry, Sin's unhinged.
Dude, now
Very.
you walk up to these groups
Uh-huh.
that you wanted to approach.
So the two people arguing.
Yeah. To the two groups arguing. Sorry. As the loyalist group, I'll call them, begins to turn and walk away.
Where's the guy that they were telling that they were going to go tell the Great Speaker?
Oh, those are the loyalists. Those are loyalists that
Oh.
are turning to walk away.
Where are you going?
Outsider, we are going to inform the Great Speaker through the words and voices of the heresy that is being spread here.
Doesn't he already know?
Well, I certainly hope he does, but it is up to us to petition for him.
I thought he was the Great Speaker.
Yes, he is. And once we petition to him, he will come and protect us from this heresy. Or send words.
Does his words hurt your feelings?
No, they speak against the Great Speaker. And that is not a...
Can he not?
well, speak against the great speaker, that is heresy. That is against everything we believe.
But not everything he believes.
Yes, he believes wrongly. Which is why
From
we
your
must-
point of view.
It is not about point of view, it's about facts.
You did not let him you didn't even consider his facts.
I did. He was speaking to me about this all morning. He tried to persuade me to his blasphemous side.
And him to yours. Tell me. Can you not just live and ignore people who you disagree with?
Unfortunately, this is not a whether or not you like beans or oats. This is something of much graver importance.
Or so you feel.
What if someone in that group of yours decided to randomly speak out against everything that you believe on? Would you not want to leave him? Would you not want to distance yourself from such a betrayal?
I might agree if that's what you were doing. You're sentencing him to death.
If he does not recant his beliefs, then yes.
I see we are very different. Shall I go home to my tribe and tell them that you are wrong and we must do something about you?
Well, if you do that to your tribe, the great speaker will protect us. So go ahead.
So it's okay if he has no one to protect him. It's okay to sentence him to death because you disagree.
Like I said, he is under the care of the great speaker. If he
He refuses care.
If the great speaker
him
wishes
be.
to kill him, let it be so. If he wishes to let him live, equally. I'm not
Do
the
you
one.
hear yourself?
I'm not the one making the judgment here. The great speaker is. I'm simply informing him of what has transpired.
That is how you view yourself. A simple messenger.
A simple servant. And then he'll continue his turning and walk away. Sin, Phelan, you walk up to the elder, who sits staring as Thunar begins talking to to one of the groups. As he sits there watching, or stands there watching.
Oh, I'll give a small nod. Good morning, Elder.
Morning.
Oh, no, just walk in, stand beside him, and look at the others. Copper, for your thoughts.
No need. I wouldn't touch the filthy stuff anyway.
Sorry, just figure of speech.
There's a movement that's been spreading like wildfire since the last night. Quite literally overnight, it's taken half the village.
What do you think of it, Great Elder?
I'm wary. The passion and vigor that they show in speaking this. Well, you don't see that sort of passion and, in my opinion, outright blatant request for death for someone who doesn't believe in what they say. But
a good point.
what they say, as he shakes his head. That man was right. It's blasphemous to the great speaker. Heretical, even.
Perhaps. But, well, again, as a faithful follower, we must be able to question those above us. That way we may be able to find that they are true.
Yes. That's why I said it was heretical to the great speaker. Not necessarily to myself. I'm undecided as of now.
I understand it. One as wise as yourself must make sure that you know the best for your clan and for your people.
Yes. It's not every day you see. Well, throughout my entire life, rather, I've not seen any words spoken against the great speaker. Not until word of that traitor coming back.
That is true. Sometimes things will suddenly come along that you've never heard before, but sometimes there's something deep within us that, well, it points us in the right direction. And I'm sure that you'll find what that is, but I feel you are on a good path, Elder. At least considering and questioning all.
Just kind of slowly nod to that. You're a scholarly person, aren't you?
I try to be when I can.
Mm. Legends of our people speak of such people such as that. People who dedicated their lives to learning histories and knowledge to spread throughout everyone else. They say they all died after the traitor started his revolution. I still like to think that those traits, those abilities rather, or tendencies, passed on to the rest of us.
I would think so, Elder. And might I offer a suggestion?
Go ahead.
I do not know much of your people or your people's traditions or cultures from before or during any of this time, but perhaps some of that knowledge, that history, remains somewhere. The people that had the skills and the knowledge internally perhaps are no longer with us, but perhaps the knowledge that they possessed still exists around. Just needs someone to go looking for it. And perhaps those histories will hold answers to unite your people under the proper cause. Whatever that may be.
Well, for answers to unite us, we'd have to have questions we all ask. And this new development, this new belief that's been spreading, brought to me the striking realization that we haven't asked any questions. Do not fear for staying here. I will not order my village to kick you out or drag you to the feet of the great speaker himself.
Well, of course, I worry not. If there's anything that we can do, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you. It's not off. Well, the last time we got an outsider was when I was but a hatchling. So it's not often that we see outsiders, much less them offering assistance.
Oh. We could say that your people hold a special place in mine and my party's hearts.
Thank you. I'm not sure what we did to deserve that, but thank you.
Perhaps one day. Thank you for your time this morning.
As he kind of just politely bows. And then from that, you see the other loyalist group walk away from Thunar. As a few stragglers from the crowd kind of join them as they start walking out of the village. And then a short time after that, you hear, or Karu will walk out of the kind of house, tent-ish hut place that y'all stayed at the night. We kind of take a look around the village and they say, "All right, everyone, inside." As in, then he'll just step back inside the hut.
I will enter, looking confused.
So as everyone enters, you'll see kind of a parchment laid out up on the ground with like a rough sketch of like the mountain range. And as everyone arrives, Karu will kind of squat down in front of the map. All right, so Kanian here, he drew me a rough map of the mountains, and as he points to like a circle on the map, this was the first village we entered, the first village we found when we first got in the mountains. And then there's an X on the map. This is where that ritual or captivation or whatever happened. This is the horde that we found there. And then like kind of a short distance away is another circle. And this is where we are. So, as far as I see it, we have 3 things we kind of need to get in order as we try to get Tombstone back. First is we need to figure out more about this metal and what Thumdurak's doing with his curses and how all that works. Second is, well, we need to find this wherever they put Tombstone. There is, from what we can tell, the breaths, they stay with Thumdurak, and well, there was no living quarters at the, as he points to the map, at this place. So they hide somewhere else. So we need to find out where that is. And lastly, well, we need to keep up this recruiting, or whatever you want to call it, conversion, this great awakening almost. And so, I, well, as captain, took the liberty to assign some people. Ikley, you're gonna head up figuring out stuff with these curses. Phelan, if you want to join her, go right ahead.
You said I'm doing what with the curses?
You're trying to learn more about them, specifically how we can cut off Thumdurak from using them.
Gotcha.
If we can figure out how to keep him from using that power to kill us, then, well, we'll be a lot better off. Thunar, Havel, Eitri, I want y'all to find this wherever Thumdurak is hiding. And hopefully that's where Tombstone is as well. Myself, Sin, and Briar, and along with Kanian here, I want us to keep up this recruiting. I have a feeling the more people we can convince to, well, defy Thumdurak, the better off we'll be.
Solid plan.
Understood.
Sound good? All right. And you'll take the map and kind of like roll it up, and then you'll proffer it toward Thunar, Havel, and Eitri. Y'all can use this as you try to figure out where it goes. We know the direction he flew, to the southeast, but when you find it, try to mark it as accurately as you can on this map.
I'll take the map.
All right. Now it's y'all's turn. Anything? Any questions? Any statements? Grand revelations as of?
Can you give me one of those? Some give me some kobold-sized clothing.
Kobold.
I cast Ultra Self on myself and make myself look like a kobold, like similar to the one looking in front of me, so I don't have to think
Mhm.
too hard. But probably like a younger version.
Oh, Karu looks at Kanyen, who nods. I can get him clothes. Follow me, as he walks out of the cut and gestures toward, or like beckons Sin to follow.
It may be
Oh,
time
follow up.
soon for us to prepare to move to a different village. Kanyan, where is the nearest village that would participate in the smithing of these discs?
On his way out, he kind of stops. Well, smithing only happens in the voice villages. Outside of the one that you found, there's only 2 others.
Well, the voice villages, it'd probably be fairly difficult to get in and get information. It's gonna be hard to just figure out much about these discs, but we can do what we can. I can say at very
What was that?
I was gonna say at the very least, this village is the seeds are planted here. I think that this won't be long. The elder is himself questioning.
That is good to hear, Kanyen says. Yes, I also was wanting to move to other villages and begin working there. There's one not a day's journey away to the east. If we follow this river, it'll take us right to it.
It can work for us. Ikely, unless you have any other thoughts on it, we can study the disc on the journey.
I think I'm pretty okay with what you want to do. I think this part is more of your expertise.
All magic users have expertise. Yeah, I look over at Thunar. Most magic users have expertise in magical knowledge.
You say that.
What do the ones do that don't? Wait a minute.
They figure it out somehow or another. Regardless, let's move on.
Something's different.
Phelan's like, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
Aelin just called Thunar stupid again. He just said it in a smart way.
he's over here. Crap! Dang it! Did it again! Dang it!
It's slavery, but with extra steps.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, if nobody has any other grievances, let's get to it. Sin, Kanyen will kind of give you an extra pair of word robes, so you get like a little white robe around you, and a few tattered rags, as he apologizes that he can't really get anything better.
I put it on, and I say thank you.
He kind of gives a short little nod in response.
Then I guess I take off any markers that were me, like my sword and all that kind of stuff. I just want to look like a normal kobold guy.
All right. No normal kobold looking dude.
Just a kobold guy.
Just a kobold.
All right.
Living in a lonely mountain.
So, unless anybody else wants to do anything else, then Karu will gather Sin and Briar, and y'all, along with Kanian, will start walking down the river. Unless does Eichlee and Phelan want to join as well?
think
Or
we-
do Eichlee?
What's in the
But
next
don't-
village, Kanian?
Well, it'd be something much like this one. I believe they have the. They might be more metallic scaled. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that the people there would have any different sort of knowledge other than those here that would help us in figuring these disc out, or?
No, I'm not sure. The only thing I'd suspect that they'd have in terms of these would be just the metals they've gathered for tribute.
Mhm.
Wait, are these the? Who are the villages that we're visiting? Like, what?
Oh,
Are
low,
they just
lowest,
other
just
kobolds, or there's-
villager actions like lowest denomination.
Okay,
Nothing.
'cause- Okay. I don't know if it would actually benefit us to go then.
That's a
But
good
if
point.
you want to go to be safe, that's also totally fine.
Well, I don't. I'm okay either way. I know that it probably wouldn't hurt to stay necessarily. The elder here would be helpful for us. Seems to be very open to talking.
If you stay, you get to stay with me. Wade will say.
Oh
I sh-
no.
I shouldn't have said anything. He goes back to writing notes.
I just pat Wade on the shoulder, like, well, give your best
I shouldn't have
shot.
said anything. My bad.
I look for Connie and them. We'll stay. Not because of you, Wade.
He immediately like
It's
cracks
not
his
the
face.
reason. It's not the reason I made that decision. Not the reason. Not the reason at all. Moving on. Yes, we'll stay here.
I think
Probably
someone's
be
coming
easiest left.
around, Wade.
You should have heard
I
him
elbow
earlier.
him.
He thanked me.
Wow.
Don't let him know that. Don't let him know I'm this ecstatic. It'll ruin everything.
Yeah, you're right.
Very nice.
All right.
That's so funny.
So everyone breaks away. Thunar, Havel, Eitri, what do y'all want to do to start this trek to find?
I give Thunar a hug before he leaves.
What's this for?
Just want you to be safe, buddy.
Aw. Thanks, buddy. As far as us going, we have a map.
We do.
Yeah.
I pull out the map. I unfold it.
Ooh, I have primeval awareness, which means I can expend one ranger spell slot to sense whether any blah 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 dragons blah 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 are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain.
Oh,
Nice.
What's my favorite terrain?
I think. What did you say it was?
I think it was like woodlands or plains or something like that because it's had something to do with your.
I thought it
wolf.
was the woods.
Is it not? Yeah, I don't know if it's mountains or not.
Let's
I'm
see.
thinking
It should say it somewhere. Where would it say it?
Features and traits.
Here it is. Grassland, mountain, or forest.
Mountain.
Oh, you have three. That's crazy.
We're definitely in the mountains.
Yes.
We are in.
Hey yo,
Mountains are
Eitri
also
about
my
to-
favorite terrain.
Eitri about to come in clutch.
So it says that I just expend, let's see, 1 ranger spell slot, so 1 minute per level of spell slot.
Oh, geez. Maybe wait till we're.
where we think we're pretty close to it.
We think we're close. We'll confirm
Yeah.
that we're that close. We'll go, oh,
Yeah.
are we?
That's a good idea. So we'll just keep that in mind.
Eitri sniffs the air. There's dragons about. I don't
like
know why
in
I'm so good at
Jurassic
tracking
Park.
dragons, but I am.
It's like in Jurassic Park when, or maybe it was a different movie when the guy like bends down and like licks the like print and then like tastes it and like knows that it's like either this fresh or this far away or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
The
stupid
ranger,
stuff.
the ranger's skills.
What is our lead? Just that direction?
Oh, the direction that all those other people went off, I thought, right?
Sure. Let's take a look at some map.
I thought that the direction y'all were going was the direction that y'all remember him flying off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was to the southeast. I probably should have been like a good DM and gotten an actual map to send y'all.
I was about to ask, do you have a map by any chance?
Nah,
Let's
doesn't
do like
reflect on your
let's play
skills, D-
let's play 1E real quick. Seth, what's the map look like? Could you describe the map to me?
Yeah, it was southeast-ish. All right. Here's what we're doing.
He's drawing it.
I'm drawing it right now. Hey, it's Karu. He's not an artist, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's where y'all entered.
It's really funny because you're actually not streaming.
I know. I'm gonna send it in like 2 seconds.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch this.
One Mississippi.
Watch this.
Ooh, Mississippi.
Hold on, I have to save it. All right, there it is. Boom. Behold.
Wonderful.
What
is
this?
So, the circle on the left. The circle on the left is
So
the,
beautiful.
the first village y'all entered, and then the X is where the little like ritual thing happened with Tombstone. To y'all's knowledge, is either dead or not dead. And then that circle, kind of not so far away, that's the village y'all are at right now. And he flew to the southeast. So up is north, east, south, west, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So we're going southeast.
Now what?
Well, what does the mountain pass looking southeast look like? Is it dangerous?
No, I mean, yeah. So y'all started walking the path initially because you started in the southeast direction, and then y'all stopped at this village. So it's walkable.
Well, I guess there's no better way to do anything but start.
How about that? I think we should talk about it some more.
Sorry. No. Enough of Saturday, of Thursday night sessions. Frick.
Well, Seth,
I'm gonna start
you know
walking.
that really obscure thing you're thinking about right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me about it. Sorry.
Hmm?
So-
I'm done.
Havel, you start walking.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready? Do we have all our provisions?
We are
Yeah,
ready.
You lagged a bit there, Ethan.
It's fine. It's not worth it.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give up with
Alright.
this Rosharon McDonald's Wi-Fi. It's ridiculous.
McDonald's.
So
Pretty-
Havel leads the way as I assume, Thunar and Eitri follow.
What is how lead the way?
Oh no, because he was the first to say he walks away.
I kind of just had a map and I started walking. Do you want to lead, Thunar? You're welcome to. I trust your skills.
Where are we going?
Southeast.
That way. Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, I'll follow you. I'll guard the rear.
I appreciate that. Eitri,
Yes.
do you want to lead the way, or do you want to scout out front?
I will scout out front.
Okay.
And I'll
like
shoot
this.
anything that comes in my vision.
Oh, don't know about that, but use your discernment. I trust you. He says with a shred of disbelief to what he said.
All right. And everyone goes about on their new task. One quick question. Sin,
Mhm.
are you still trying to contact Tombstone?
You know, I think Sin would probably have done it one last time when he turned into a kobold, thinking of his friend. But I think he would have given up after that.
Tombstone. What do you say, Sin?
I just been repeating the same message. Tombstone, are you alive? We're looking for you.
Tombstone.
Stay strong, buddy.
You hear
You can reply.
Sin's voice say, Tombstone, are you alive? We're coming for you. As you sit in the horde. Do you reply?
Got that?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I got your attention adequately.
Yeah.
You hear Sin's voice say, "Hey, Tombstone, are you alive? We're coming for you." As you sit in the cavern.
The voice is not real. Of course, I would recognize if it was really Sin. Sin would say something stupid like, "Hey, Tombstone, got any water wheels?" Something like that. I don't
Sin,
know.
you hear that in response.
I need to check my book, see if I can send something back.
That's silly. That's so funny.
I think it's at will, so I can. Sending. Oh, why am I on Willard? What the?
Wrong character. Oh no.
It's like, why do I have 4th level spell? Why do I have 8 level spells?
That'd have been real interesting.
Yeah, we don't level up that much, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better get 2 levels after we kill this dragon.
I also don't have alter self, so I guess. That's weird.
Aren't you a changeling though?
I'm a changeling,
Yeah,
but you're
you're
not
cha-
really supposed to be able to change into a kobold unless DM wants, says it's okay.
DM says it's okay.
Okay, I changed it to kobold.
This was like post. What?
Alright, so sending. Yes, I can do it at will. So I send back Tombstone. When you make a patty melt, you gotta make sure you caramelize the onions correctly. Sometimes you can even throw in garlic.
Sin, it's you. Where is this voice coming from?
I'm speaking in your voice from my book. I've turned into a kobold. We're gonna save your people, buddy.
It's definitely Sin. There's nobody else I know who turned into a kobold. Sin, I'm alive.
That's good.
I'm listening to you all scream in agony.
Oh, that's fake.
I figured that out. Oh, You have no idea how good it is to talk to someone. I'm surrounded by a bunch of coins.
That does sound miserable. Actually, it sounds pretty fun.
They're weird glowy coins.
Oh, not like actual. Oh, wait, that's stupid.
Well, like they're real, but they're like weird and glowy, like green and
But,
black
like,
glowy.
What is their gold worth? Do you think?
Like one.
1 gold? Okay, I'm interested now.
I don't know. Well, it's a very big treasure hoard. He's got a lot of things in here.
Mm.
Any estimates on when I should be prepared? What should I be doing? I'll start cranking out some push-ups, some sit-ups. You know, get that jail time, bod.
Start
Ooh.
cranking in some push-ups and sit-ups. You got this,
All right.
brother.
Bring me a spear. I seem to have misplaced my halberd.
Perfect. Will do.
So Tombstone, as the conversation ends, it's back to silence with the sounds of screaming filling the cavern and the occasional calling out from someone in the party
Yeah.
that echoes around.
So
you.
with that like, communication and that like mental reinforcement,
Mm-hmm.
I will seek out with my ears. I'll listen very intently for one specific sound and try to block out all the rest.
All right.
I'm going to listen for the sound of my son screaming in agony.
Roll perception, I guess.
Can I ask canonically how old Tombstone's son is before?
About
Everything
10
happened?
years old.
Okay.
So 12.
12.
Oh wait.
So as you kind of try to shut out all the other noises and kind of focus down, unfortunately you have to use some memories to try to remember exactly
Mhm.
what that scream sounded like. And there's a faint hint of it coming from like far to your like left.
So I'm gonna face that direction, so that my focus
Mhm.
in like the echolocation. I'm gonna sit cross-legged. I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm just going to hone in on that voice, and my whole body just tenses. And then I'll take a deep breath. I'll relax, and I'll continue to focus on that voice. Like, like how you like grind a knife against a whetstone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grind my mental against this sharp dagger and hone the anger that I've been carrying, the rage building inside my chest, ready to be released. But I'm going to contain it and just let it build. And that's what I want to do.
All right. Cool. And so as you do so, as you sit and you mentally sharpen yourself and build up this rage inside of you, what type of save or check do I want you? Yeah, roll a Constitution save for me real quick.
Bet. The 12.
Yep. And as you do so, there's only one distraction that kind of threatens to take over. And that is the empty stomach that you have. But you shove it away, you ignore it for now, and you keep going. So add another exhaustion for me, please.
Yeah, of course. Ugh, oh man, this is tough.
All right. I have no particular order on how we want to go through these groups, so who wants to go first? Okay, I see Ethan
Oh.
dancing in his webcam.
I thought you were going to do the whole like teacher thing. Is like anyone want to go first? And I'm just sitting here.
All right. Thunar, Havel, Eitri, you are traveling. Eitri, I'd like you to roll me a survival with advantage, because I think you do that if you're in your favorite terrain.
Right.
Yeah.
Survival
Rangers are
with
fun.
advantage. 26. That's a natural 20.
Oh shoot!
Beautiful.
So
He is one with the trees.
yeah, so as you start this journey, and you're kind of like, okay, well, he flew southeast, and you kind of like, you look around a bit, you climb a little bit on top of one of these, one of these smaller mountains, smaller hills, and you go to like a little stone outcropping. You look around, and you just kind of like, you feel the wind kind of blowing across you. You see the elevation, the changes in the terrain, and you kind of, in your mind's eye, map out this sort of route that a dragon or a bird would fly to go southeast. Following the air patterns, following the changing the terrain and the mountains, this path kind of almost opens up to you as you look out, and you think that's where he had to have flown. That's like the most natural path something that flies could take. And you start heading that way with Havel and Thunar behind you. Anything y'all want to say to each other as you travel for a bit?
Nope.
All right.
We're a quiet group.
Focused.
Yeah, you can just see on like in Eitri's demeanor that he's just focused on, like you were just describing about analyzing the wind and all of that kind of stuff, and he's basically looking like the meme I just sent, but kind of just zoned out with like all of the math in his head and
Mm-hmm.
Bro's locked in.
Yeah.
Exactly. He is in the zone right now. So
Yep.
after a few hours of silent travel, you all eventually, Eitri, you're the first to find it. Kind of rounding this kind of larger mountain to y'all's left. As you go to the southeast, you see a kind of large, kind of plateaued outcropping from one of these mountains. Kind of a similar stone field to the ritual place you found before, kind of the same type of area, but there's a large, gaping, open-mouthed cave that just leads into darkness. And sitting in front of that cave is a small little hut.
We all see this.
Eitri sees it first.
Okay.
All right, he raises up his right arm and makes a fist, kind of like like with the police or the Navy or SEALs or whatever. That it's like, yeah, and
Thunar, Havel, you see, kind of like a good distance away, you see Eitri kind of like round a small crest in this path that y'all been walking through. It's been mainly downhill, but you've started to kind of hit an uphill trend recently. And on one of these kind of rolling hills on the sides of these mountains, you see Eitri round one stop and then hold up that fist.
Okay.
Like a stop type of fist, or like
yeah,
Holds up a fist next to him.
like you see in the the cop shows, or like the
round stops. Yeah.
yeah, like
Okay.
the leader in front does that,
Yeah.
and then everybody wait for his signal to go.
Yeah. I'll stop.
right.
Absolutely, yep.
And then I kind of point down to the hut.
Do I see the hut?
Not from your angle. You'd have to like kind of walk up next to him
I will
because
try
he's on
to
like
get
on the
up
top of the
there
hill.
in a discreet way, I guess.
All right. So as you approach, you can like kind of lean down a little bit, kind of maybe squat down, crouch down as you
Mhm.
approach the top of the hill, and you see the scene I described to Eitri with this large open mouth cave, like much larger than the cave you saw earlier, with a small
Mhm.
little hut sitting out in front of it.
Does this hut have like what looks like there's been foot traffic nearby? Like, is there any steam coming out of it, like from
Roll
a
perception.
chimney or
There's
like?
no chimney, but roll perception.
All of us, or just him?
Just him, unless you also want to check it out and kind of get a better
I got a
idea.
10.
Yeah, I'll do it just to see. Just
I think you also get advantage on that Eitri because it's like all
Mhm.
wisdom
Oh.
checks.
I got a 10.
Wisdom.
I got a 21 the first time. Okay, yeah,
Eitri sees
definitely a
it.
21.
So, Havel, looking to this hut, from all intents and purposes, you know it like people have lived in it. You don't really know how recent it is, but you know it's definitely been used, just
Mhm.
from like the foot traffic and just like from how it's placed and whatnot. Eitri,
Okay.
you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, those tracks leading out of that hut, from what you can see even at this distance, they look pretty fresh. Maybe not today, but definitely like within 24 hours someone has walked into or out of this hut.
Okay. I ask y'all, so I
What do
say,
you guys see?
what'd you say?
What do you see?
I see a hut.
What do your dwarf eyes
I
see?
saw that.
The hut. There's foot
About it.
traffic. Eitri, how old is this foot traffic?
It's at least in the last day. You think we should go knock on the door?
What are we, merchants? Salesmen?
Well, if they happen to know anything about what we're looking for, then you know it might help us.
What are we selling?
We could offer to sell one of us as a indentured
Oh my
servant.
gosh.
That.
Okay, well, it's obviously me.
Don't
Gordon
worry,
Davis
we-
slavery.
We
I was
wouldn't
going to
leave
suggest
you
the
there.
one who
We,
suggested it.
we would rescue you. We wouldn't just leave
Who
you
would want
here.
to buy him? He is tiny.
But he is stout.
I am
You
stout.
know he tastes stout.
Okay.
How do you know that? you get it?
Or we could just ask them questions.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like, which one do you want to buy? It's a good idea.
Okay, I'm going to approach the hut.
All right.
Me as well.
Havel and Eitri start walking toward the hut,
Dunar, are you coming with us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
and he joins in as well.
Is there a door on the hut?
There is like a little kind of like patchy wooden door on the hut as you
Mhm.
approach,
Um,
and the door is closed.
is there a porch?
I mean, if you could call it that.
I step up to the porch. I kind of lean on the door frame, and I knock.
Just and it kind of, you give a short few raps and nothing.
Hello?
You hear nobody call out in response.
Is there a door handle?
Yeah, there's like a little like kind of just like flimsy
Are
little
there
rope door
windows?
handle. There are windows.
I'd like to.
No glass,
So at
just like
least-
little holes.
I'd like to cautiously peek through the windows.
Cautiously. Does that mean a
I'm going to
stealth
kind of
check?
like, kind of, yeah. Sure.
Michael
yeah, why not?
Myers. Oh, we should play D&D. We should play DBD after this.
Golly, my checks have been horrible tonight. 2 and 4.
Dude, mine too. I got a freaking whatever on. So
Well, I'm gonna peek around the corner. I guess it's just like I hit like a wind chime. I assume.
no, there's no wind chime. But you kind of like peek your head over the corner, and on the inside, it's just kind of this like It's moderately sized, but it's like a one-room hut with 2 beds on there. 2 beds in there. A few kind of just like storage little baskets laid around, but it's empty.
Nothing's in there.
Outside of the items I just described. Nobody's
Okay.
there.
Is the door unlocked?
It is. And so you push the door open, and walking in, it's like, I guess in terms of comfort, about the same level that you had at the voice or the word hut that you had at the village. But it's a little stuffy in there. The light or the dust is kind of drifting in the sunlight that peers in through the windows. And there's like I said, 2 beds, one on each side of this kind of circular hut, with a few baskets of belongings and other things around.
Okay. I don't see anything in here. Is there like... There's nothing in here.
Outside of the
Nothing of importance.
outside of the bed, the baskets of just like stuff.
What stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to look at said stuff.
Roll investigation. Other 2. What do y'all want to do?
Natural 20.
So you look around.
I want to follow him around and peer over his shoulder.
So you look around and you see one of these.
It's
You
not
see
very
like one of
hard.
these baskets, and you just grab it. You kind of dump it out on the bed, and you see a few things, just like a few wooden items, no metal, of course. As you kind of sift through it, and there at the bottom, you see a cloak. And you grab it and you pull it up, and it's a nice, slightly tattered green cloak.
Do I recognize this cloak?
You do. It looks strikingly similar to a cloak of some certain breaths that you encountered.
Dunar. Eitri. And I like hold it up. And, pass it
good.
back.
We can disguise ourselves.
I can't fit in that. Or you can't either. Eitri could.
One down.
What do you suggest?
Well, I'm suggesting that these... You said voices, Seth?
Breaths.
These breaths are nearby that we've seen recently. And if with Eitri saying they've been here for the past 24 hours, could only assume they're nearby
Seth,
or within the cave.
Yes.
can I remember if the ones I was talking to earlier that are going to go tattletale, were they wearing this cloak?
No, they were just normal
Aw.
villagers.
Were these the ones we fought?
They're just
These are the
normal
ones. These are
tattletales.
the ones you fought.
Those ones. I forgot there's the breast
So,
one.
they
Right.
removed their garments. That's foul.
I don't know. Maybe we should take it.
Eitri,
Huh?
roll me perception.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we should take their garments.
Yeah, but then they would know that someone was here.
Well, they'll know someone was here from our fiddling around. Or rummaging.
Valid point. And then Eitri goes straight to the kitchen and looks for food.
There's a small little table in like food area.
That's so fun.
Is there any food I can eat?
Roll investigation.
Investigation. Do I have advantage?
It is an intelligence check. Yes.
Alrighty, advantage. Investigation. That's just an 8.
You find some stale bread.
Hmm.
And I'd like
No good.
everyone to roll me a quick perception check, real quick.
Not gonna go well.
Are we just doing advantage on everything right now?
Anything that
30,
so
20.
if any skill has like the wisdom or intelligence little
Ah.
tag next to it, then you get advantage. If
Okay.
I understand your feat correctly. A 20? Perfect.
I got a
30?
nat 20, so 22.
Oh my gosh, Kenny!
30, 20.
He
So
said
we got a
luck,
dirty 20 and a
He's
nat
doing
20.
the most.
and I got an 11.
Eitri,
Womp womp.
as you're kind of as you find this bread, right, and you're staring at it in your hand, you hear the distinct noise of footsteps coming up the ridge up toward this little plateau. In
Guys,
fact,
guys.
you know that there are, in fact, 2 people coming up this bridge, or coming up this ridge.
There-
Oh no!
there's 2 coming. There's 2 coming.
No, run!
Is there a back door?
There's not a back door.
Stud.
Oh.
All right. Thunor, go hide in the closet. I'll
like it.
hide in the
Are
pantry.
we actually hiding right now like it's Outlast? I roll under the bed.
Yeah, I was just
Can I
gonna
fit in the closet?
suggest that you go into the bed, Thunor. You go into a big closet, and I'm gonna hide in the pantry.
I'm
I don't
hiding
think there's any
in
of
the
these
closet,
In the pantry.
but I'm definitely not hiding in the closet where their robes are. Is there another closet?
Or
I'll
the
quickly throw
bathroom.
everything back in the basket. So like they're like, we can't run without them seeing us type of issue.
Likely. Unless y'all
Wait, why don't you just,
unless y'all
What does that
pull
get
up
to
some
it
like
then?
random idea to like, oh, do this, and then
y'all should just jump out the window. Isn't there a window?
Is there a window?
there is a window, but it's faced like there's like 2 windows on the sides, like facing toward the cave.
So it's basically facing towards where they're coming from. Right?
Pretty
Well,
much.
then where's the front door and the back door?
There's
There's-
no back door.
There is no
Try.
back door.
Let me
Okay,
shut up.
so
I'm not
the hiding plan is the only plan we have. It's plans
If
A,
you're
B, and
hiding-
C.
If you're hiding, roll stealth.
Gosh, I roll under that
I'm
bed.
not wearing
boy.
armor. I don't have disadvantage.
Yo!
Oh, and it's not an advantage roll either.
No, because that's a dex.
No.
I got a
No! I got a 7.
23. I got a 23.
Kate, give us back, man.
So
That's so
Havel
Oh, boy,
rolls.
y'all getting found.
Havel rolls under the bed. Thunar presses himself into a small little like divot that acts as a closet, and Eitri does the same near the kitchen. Ikley, Phelan, what do y'all want to do?
Oh, I
That's
got
insane.
questions.
Oh, we're gonna make them
Bro
wait.
is so wrong.
So, can I? How many discs we
I'm gonna
have
come to
right
your
now
house,
with
Seth.
us?
Do it, please. Sorry, what was that, Ikley?
How many discs do we have? I know we have one.
You
Does
have-
Thunar still
You
have
for
the other
sure
one?
have 1 infused. I assume Thunar would have
Yes.
given it back.
But I have
And have
another
one
from the
non-infused.
first time. Not infused. Okay. So, one. Is there any writing on there?
There's
Like at
so
all
on the ones that you have,
symbols, anything?
it's just like
Yeah.
a flat disc, sort of.
No, the glowing one.
Oh, the glowy one. Yeah, just like a flat
Yes.
disc, no sort of inscription or anything.
Okay. Well, I have a theory. Didn't you say that they were like saying stuff whenever they made it that made it special or whatever? Like they were whispering stuff whenever they molded it and whatever? Or no? Or did they just make it, mold it, and then bring it to the dragon?
Did I honestly don't remember.
Well,
I
if you
did or not.
didn't, then never mind, because I feel like that would have been important.
Let's say
my
let's-
thought was.
Yeah?
My thought was if they did say something, and maybe I'm misremembering, but that they were saying the curses that were in the discs. And so I thought maybe they were infusing the disc with the curses, giving it powers. Meanwhile, the dragon really doesn't have powers but to use the disc, so he would just say
Right.
the curses. So I thought they were actually putting the curses into the discs.
I wouldn't think that because this Thunderag can curse people once a day, so it's his curses. It's not their curses, so they wouldn't be putting it into the disc.
So that's just a power source then. Like
Yeah, I think
strictly just a power source.
As far as it seems, is the knowledge we have is that it feels like this is just strictly a thing that stores the curses that allows Thunderag to use them later.
Okay. So how badly do you think we need the one that's infused?
I don't know. I have some theories and things I want to test too. So
What are
Kinda
you gonna
hard.
do to it? Asks.
Let me know when. Sorry.
No, you're
Let
fine.
me know when you're done with what you want to experiment with.
I'm guessing Wade was about to ask a question.
No, that was
Yes.
Evelyn, who will pop up and say like, "What do you want? What are you gonna do to it? Like, what do you think he's gonna do to it?"
Well,
Can I see it, Evelyn,
do
or
you-
is it just Ikley right
Just
now?
Ikley right now. What are you gonna do to it?
I thought maybe that we could, if it has power, I just wanted to see how we could break it so in the future we could at least maybe do a little bit of damage to the curses he's got or his power source.
Oh,
I just wanted to see how we could damage them.
So
that's
like,
not a
break the disc?
Yeah.
not a
And I
bad
know they're made
idea.
of metal, but could we melt them?
Not a bad idea.
But again,
Well, let's see what.
that's just in case for like the long run if we can't
I mean, it
really figure it out, you know?
definitely worth checking out. But what does Smartso over there think he's gonna have for ideas?
He probably has some ideas that are great. I'm thinking, what happens if it fails?
Who are you talking to?
So, this is Evelina. And I just gestured to her not being there. And then
Gestures to
Oh, it's
nothingness.
Evelyn. You're talking to her again. Oh,
yeah, do you want to see her? I whip off my necklace and smack it against his arm.
She kind of fades slightly into view.
I'll catch it. And hi.
What are your ideas?
Well, first of all, we know that this is some sort of this is storing is the curses, and we can feel the magic that's stored within it. So I'm wondering if maybe we can use the shard to help us access it, because I can't access it because we haven't been able to get to the magic in there and like pull it out ourselves. But maybe I just a thought. Maybe the shard can help us do that, and maybe by some virtue we can figure out a way to use the shard to pull the disable more than one at a time.
I'm going to pretend to know what you talk about when you say things like shard. And say go for it.
Fair enough. Sorry, magic shard in my bag.
Oh, the glowy rock.
Yeah, the glowy rock.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas first before I try anything, Ikley?
No, I think all of my questions have been answered.
Outside of her idea to break it, no.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's a last resort.
I'll get ready to shove my hand in my bag and Wade, do you have any ideas?
You kind of like look. He kind of looks up from a book. He was reading.
I said, do you have any ideas?
Any ideas? Oh,
on
with
what
the
we should do to
with these
test?
medals.
Yes.
I have a few hunches. I want to see how this goes first. This will help me determine what's going on here.
Okay. I started mumbling to myself and I'm like, I'm starting to wonder if this is how everybody else feels when I talk about stuff. And so I would like to
Roll that Arcana.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like using the shard and trying to like
try to access it.
use it to help me, like, because I know the
Yeah.
shard is a conduit of sorts almost.
Mhm.
So I just want to see if I can do
Roll
anything
that
with that.
Arcana.
Yeah, baby. 24.
24. So
Mhm.
you kind of reach into that. You kind of draw from the shard, and kind of get the same experience that you've kind of been practicing and can now do at will. But it's a little more forceful this time. It's kind of a lot more weighty, like that time you used it back with Aegis. and you reach at. You also kind of while you're reaching at that, you grab the disc and you try to draw from it, and you feel almost as though like you sliver up to and like kind of wrap yourself around this source of power, and then as you try to pull it, you're almost pushed away, like rejected, like no thank you, as your grasp is just like shoved out of the way and you lose hold of it. That face makes me think it didn't work.
Yeah, it's almost like the magic, the curse stored in here doesn't want me. If that makes any sense.
It makes
Maybe you know what? Maybe Thunar wasn't that far off when he said dragon magic. It might be different. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like it wants me.
Wade will kind of slap his book down on his pack. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay. Goes up, kind of rubs his hand together. So, this is infused magic, right? This object has been infused with magic. And, well, infusing things is a elegantly simple art. You see, imagine infusing an object like a lock and key, so to say, right? If you want to infuse,
Absentmindedly, as he's talking, I absentmindedly like pull out my notebook and start like
start jotting things
as he's
out.
talking.
When you infuse something with magic, excuse me, it is almost like putting a lock on it, right? So if I got, let's say, as he looks around, picks up the pencil he was using to write earlier. This pencil, if I'd like to infuse this with magic, it won't hold much. It's a wooden pencil. It's not going to take anything. But if I wanted to, it is now, let's say, locked with the key only I can open, right? So then if I gave it to you, and you tried to use it, it didn't work, because it's my magic. I'm the one that infused it. However, as he takes up a second, if I have another object, right, and I infuse it as well, let's say I have as I grab and then Wade grabs the infused disc, if I have one of these, this can hold a lot more magic than this. So, if I infuse a little bit of magic on this thing, I now add another lock here, right? So now I have two locks, but I have the same key. So, I can unlock this little pencil here, take any magic that's in there, and add it to this. That's how I assume Thumdrak's doing this. That's how he's able to draw from it, because he has, the skeleton key to unlock however many bits of metal he has that's infused. And since, well, you're not Thumdrak and you didn't infuse it yourself, or you haven't been infused with any of his magic, you can't open it. Like I said, simple, but oddly elegant.
That makes really good sense. And why does nobody else know about that?
So then that's how the breaths and the words and all of them are actually having power, so to say.
And that's my hunch.
I'm following. Okay.
Game theory.
What if do you think that? Do you think we could not override his lock, but
break it?
Overwrite it?
Oh, like infuse our own magic into it?
Yeah, I'm just because I don't think that even with the shard I wouldn't able to do anything with it, so I don't think I can break the lock that he's got on his magical lock on this. But I wonder if it'd be possible for us to put our own lock of sorts on there, if that makes sense.
It's a good idea. However, well, as he pulls up his pencil again, any item can only hold so much magic. Like I can't put an infinite amount of magic in this lock or in this pencil. You can't put an infinite amount of magic in one disc. If that was the case, he wouldn't need a whole hoard. He'd just need one that he just returns to like a bank, And so yes, that would work if we could find one that wasn't full.
Wait, does the breaths and the words have different coats, like different cloaks?
The breaths we saw, yeah, one had green and one had black.
Yeah, but the rest of them, like in their little,
Oh, the words? No, they all have white.
they don't have white. Okay, continue. I was just curious.
Hmm. And so that is my hunch, essentially, is these breaths, they had some interesting effects. And also, all that stuff with Thunar, that Thunar said he and Tombstone saw with the word being made. That also is coming to mind. But I guess let me ask y'all questions now. Any ideas? Any other theories? Any other ways
I think
forward?
it's so stupid, but you said something about a skeleton key. Is that like people
No,
or
skeleton
words
key
or
is
breaths?
a skeleton key represents like a master key that unlocks like any
Yes,
lock.
but I'm saying that there's only two that actually bring them to him, like the discs to him. So I
Oh.
guess my thought was, is it a one of the green or the black coats that are actually the skeleton key?
But if it was one of the breaths though, then how would Thunderak access it whenever he wants to?
Unless
Because
what
it's
he
already
has
unless
next.
unlocked. He
unless he
gets it
needs
unlocked, right?
them to unlock it.
I mean, that's what.
Hmm.
That was a thought, but
Hold
it
on to that thought. I like that thought.
Only two. Yeah, there's only
noted.
no. That
But
Tanian did say that the breaths are always with Thunderak.
Yes, but they live. Don't they live like with him or something or near
That's what I'm
him?
saying. They live there with
So
Thunderak.
they are on call essentially whenever he needs them to be. I think they're the skeleton key personally, but
It's possible.
we're finding new things out every time.
It's possible. At the very least, they probably have something to do with it.
Oh yeah, probably. Or maybe they're just one step in a giant process. So
hold on to the idea. We'll see what happens. Any others? Well then, if I heard correctly, Ikley, you had an idea
about breaking
about
it.
breaking it. Yeah,
Yeah, you want to entertain it?
I'd love to. However, I'd like to work on one of my hunches at the same time.
Are you gonna try to curse somebody with it?
Yes and no.
I want to try to curse Evelina because she's already cursed, so it wouldn't
What?
be any damage.
As you hear her say, I get.
I'd be like, you're already in hell. Just be quiet.
Wow, I didn't realize you were so.
It's actually
cruel.
written in my notes. That's what I literally have it already written down to like try to curse somebody, but that it's fine. I just thought that was out of pocket. So, but you said it first, so you're out of pocket.
Well, let's see. I was going to find just a random villager here, and just
ruin their
it's-
life. Okay.
no.
Sick.
Like I said, it's a hunch. Something might happen. Nothing might happen. And the
Okay.
something I think happen won't hurt them.
Oh.
I think, with about
Okay.
80%, 80% sure.
Sure. Let's go find somebody.
Perfect. I'm so glad you guys stayed.
Who are we gonna go find?
Well, you said the village elder was amiable, right?
He's still not a fan of metal.
Then he shouldn't have a problem with us breaking it.
Yes, but I also don't know. I mean, if you guys really think so, I'd be a little worried about toting around the forged disc that they send to the Great Speaker.
Wait.
He grabs like the uninfused disc and just like slides it in his vest.
Are you saying breaking it like would curse somebody, or no?
I'm not
Because you're
sure
talking about
yet.
breaking it in front of him. Okay.
That's a little bit of the hunch I'm trying to
And
figure out.
cursing him, and you didn't say they were two separate steps.
So, elder or random villager we can snag.
Cool.
We might as well talk to the elder.
Perfect. Lead the way.
Okay.
And you
Head
start
out.
heading out to talk to the villager. Sin and Briar.
I'm ready.
You've walked down this riverside, walking through, and eventually you approach another village, similar in size and looks, and pretty much just a different layout. As you approach on this riverside, and these actions, they have a kind of like metallic gray scales on them, as a few of them catch eyes, and you see a few of them kind of like start pointing your direction as you approach and you close in on this village. Anything you want to do initially?
Oh, find somewhere I can begin my speech. Find a good clearing. Something to stand up tall on.
Yeah, there's a nice kind of clear kind of dirt pathway through the main heart of this village. And Kanian will, as you kind of step up into that into there, he's like, well, what do you plan on doing?
Getting ready to change the world.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I'm gonna give a speech to introduce you, and you're gonna tell your story.
Okay. Then prepare all you need to. I will do so myself.
Give me 10 minutes to meditate.
Okay. Kara will look to Briar. Seems like Sin's fixing up to do something. I think he said something about a speech. You want to try to get these villagers at least interested? Cool. I assume that she's just not at the computer right now, so.
Oh wait, were you talking to us?
No, I was
Or who
talking
were you-
to Briar or to
Oh,
Alexandra.
I was like, huh?
So.
He got up from her podcast to go to the bathroom.
So I'll and Karu will then go and start getting villagers' attentions, which isn't hard, seeing someone like Karu walk through a village and kind of point them in the direction of Sin. Sin, you requested meditation for 10 minutes. What would you like to do?
So, you know what? I need actual just IRL. Not 10 minutes, but maybe like 2 more
Okay.
to prepare my speech, if that's all right.
That's perfectly fine. We'll hop back to Tombstone in the meantime.
Oh.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
You stand still in the cavern. A little bit more hopeful now that you heard from Sin. But you still hearing the screams, and you are sitting there sharpening your mental rage, so to say, and making your own horde, so to say, of anger.
Yeah.
When you hear a voice, a familiar one, an annoying one, boom around you. Decided to give up finally? You've been sitting there for hours. I see. You've lost your tongue too. Well then. I'll leave you to die in rotten silence.
Dragon. These will be the last words I speak to you until you hear my voice once again. Oh, and it will be beautiful. The words that I'll give at your funeral.
I look forward to it. I'll make sure my eulogy for you is brief.
I will not respond to him any further. I will refuse to give him the satisfaction of hearing me speak. And I will begin to focus on a new sound. I would like to listen to the sound of my wife.
Roll perception.
Uh, 15.
So you try to find the sound of your wife, and as you listen and listen, you don't hear the sound of her screaming. All you're able to pick up is just a quiet, soft crying. Almost drowned out by the other screams and noises and calling out to your name that you still hear.
I will weep with the noise and acknowledge and accept my own sadness for everything that has transpired.
And as you do so, and as you weep, you realize the tears that flow are shallow. Not meaning the emotion's not real, there's just not a lot coming out. As you realize another one, just like the hunger, thirst is crashing down
Severely
on you.
dehydrated.
Yes, extremely dehydrated.
I drink my own tears.
Dune moment.
So as you move on to focus on that new noise, hunger still pinging in your stomach, thirst scratching your throat. Give me one moment, I need to make sure I'm timing this right. Yeah, go ahead and add 2 more levels of exhaustion.
Oh, no.
As now hunger and thirst is starting to take its toll.
I'm at exhaustion level 4, boys. 2 more and I'm dead. Okay. Very good. Very good.
He's like just crying with the thumbs up. Sin, have you prepared your speech?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
no.
At this time, as you kind of finish your meditation, or at least pretending like you're meditating, you look up and you see that Karu has amassed a small little crowd for you.
All right, I take my stump speech stand. Everyone, gather around.
They kind of shuffle a little in closer, obviously curious as to what you're going to say.
My name is Calderam, and I bring news from the great speaker. Listen in.
They all enthusiastically nod.
Word of a traitor may have reached your ears, but I pose a question instead. Before my man here should speak, and point to the guy next to me, I have to tell you a few observations I've noticed about our society. If you could even call it a society. Society is defined by people working together, a common culture. But I don't see any culture here today. I see mere automata. Because society in every state is a blessing. But our wicked governor, the great speaker, even at his best, is only a necessary evil. He has given us peace, yes. But now he is waking and becoming a very intolerable governor. Because a long habit of not thinking something wrong gives it a superficial appearance of it being right. And it raises at first a formidable outcry in the defense of our customs, of not wearing metal, and things of the like. But this desire soon subsides, because time brings more understanding than reason. And this time I've noticed, and hoarded, and I pull my rapier, that there is nothing wrong in metal that can hurt us. It is us with metal that can hurt the great speaker. We have every opportunity and encouragement before us to change our destiny, to bring our society together, and to once again remember who we were. You may be too young to remember, but I remember what we were like. This man here remembers even better. Remember that moderation and temper is a virtue, but always being moderate, now that is a sin. So I ask you to gather together, to gather with me, and go forward, and free ourselves from this tyrant.
Roll performance. Performance or persuasion, your choice. Your choice.
It's either the same thing either way. 22.
22. And so a few of them kind of look to you with, obviously shocked and like, what did he just say? Expressions, while others are a little more musing, kind of like sit and slightly nodding as they think, while others are just like outrageous. Like a few calls out of heresy and, did the great speaker really say that? Call out as Kanian steps up and says, what he says is true. As he pulls back his hood and shows his withered face. I am a word of the great speaker. I have seen the traitor with my own eyes, and in the ritual that our religion speaks of, the captivation, where he would finally be put in his eternal prison. And, well, his words are true. The great speaker, while he may protect us in the way that we want, he does not have our good in mind. You see, I come from the clans, rather, long before you all were even hatchlings. I've seen the great speaker terrorize and, well, without any better word, massacre and cause genocide for everyone. These people, they used to be called kobolds. Your ancestors. So please, heed our words and listen. And from that, a few more people kind of come in closer to learn more, a lot more interested. And while a few others, much smaller than the last time, kind of cry out in anger again, in opposition. Anything y'all want to do? If not, then
It would have to be quite a stretch, but I would like to infuse kind of magic into his speech or into another speech or something.
okay.
And I don't have mass suggestion, but I do have suggestion.
Okay.
And so, I guess if I can find who the most influential person is there,
Mm-hmm.
I'll suggest them that, hey, listen to this guy.
Roll insight.
22.
So you see another robed villager with the gray scales, and you've been to two of these villages now, and he looks like the village elder. He looks like the one that would be the one in charge here. He has similar robes to the other elders you've seen. So you think that he would be, this guy's the most influential person in the village.
Perfect.
And so what does
Thank-
suggestion do? Like, is there a save?
Suggestion is I suggest a course of action to the person. It's a wisdom 17.
Okay. So what do you suggest?
Hear him, like listen to him,
Right.
remember.
And so you do that, and he kind of cocks his head a bit as he unfolds his arm and kind of slowly strides over to the group and toward you and Kanian. And seeing that Kanian is kind of already engaged in a few discussions, he walks up to you. As he kind of bows reverently. Word, is what you say true? As he looks to you, Sin.
He's calling me a word?
You look like a kobold
That
and you have
robe?
the white robe.
Oh, I say yes, of course it's true.
I see.
I
Why
wouldn't have come all this way if it wasn't.
why speak now against the great speaker? Why
Because-
does he allow this to happen now?
Because it's time for the great speaker to have his real voice heard. Everything in the past has been lies. It's time for the truth to come forward.
I see. I see. Well then, if what you say is true, then we must spread this word. We must tell more.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it.
Yes.
Continue.
However, I heard of you before you arrived. I was almost expecting you. You see, a group from a nearby village. They wore yellow scales. They approached, and they stopped here, and I, of course, gave them lodging and gave them supplies. But they warned me of you, saying that you might be coming, and warned me against what you would say. And, well, they said that they were going to get words and even voices and tell them of what you've done. Did you know of this?
I'm not worried about the vocal minority.
Well, they did also mention something else. They did. Well, they said that they were going to raid the village.
Which village?
The one you came from.
Well, if you're for saving our kind, then let's go protect them.
Yes. Let me gather some of my villagers here and see what we can do.
Thank you. I'll go and I must go inform my people.
Yes, of course. As he shuffles off and starts talking to some people who were sitting kind of drew nearby and listened to the conversation.
And I go tell everybody what's up.
So you get the attention of Briar and Karu and relay that information. Karu kind of curses under his breath. That's not good. Well, I mean, realistically, what much harm can they do? I mean, they don't have any metal. They surely don't have any weapons.
I don't know. Magic.
It's true. They could try some of that. What do y'all think? You think we should go back or keep going?
I think we should go back.
Okay. Well, if the village elder is so far, as far as we can tell, listening to us, then I'm sure he and Kanian can work together to continue this. I'll go let him know what's going on. You guys can head over there without me. I'll catch up. And he'll go and find his way to Kanian through the crowd that has started to grow around him. I'm assuming y'all head back to the village?
I'd like to.
Alright. Perfect. Back to our hiding
Outlast.
individuals.
We're dead.
We're so dead. It's
You-
so over.
You find yourselves throwing, you throw yourselves under beds into small nooks and crannies to try to hide as you hear kind of these footsteps of feet against stone, kind of like pat their way up this plateau and start to draw close to the hut that y'all are in. And they, with every step grow louder and louder until they start to slightly fade, growing slightly quieter. Until you hear a large, just like clink, series of clinks just as something hits the ground and the footsteps stop.
How close were the clinks? So they got quieter, then there were clinks on the ground. Were like
Roll perception. Try to figure out how far away those clinks were.
With advantage.
3.
Oh gosh.
7.
Oh
Hold
no.
on. I don't remember closing my browser.
Did I get
just
a
happened
long
to have
rest
had it
last time? I
closed.
didn't even press it. Yeah, we slept.
Yeah, y'all slept. And
Perception,
you haven't
right?
used, yeah, you haven't used 18.
I
Havel,
looked
to,
up and I still had 9.
to you,
No
it
point.
sounds like a good, like, 50 or so feet away. Like a good distance. Still on the plateau,
Hmm.
but a good ways away.
Like, do we hear like?
and
them
it was
communicating at all,
toward
or, like-
toward the large
Mhm.
open-mouthed cave.
Is there a window looking that direction?
There is.
I would like to sneakily. We're gonna get it this time. Poke over, like set to that image I put on the drawing thing earlier.
Yeah, and see what's up.
Yeah. 10.
All right.
The important rules I'm sucking at. That's what sucks right now.
And so you kind of you kind of peek your way up and look around, and on this kind of stone plateau area right outside the open maw of this cave, you see the two breaths, one in a black cloak and the other in a green cloak, and between them is this kind of large sack that is sitting down, and they sit there kind of heads up, looking toward the cave, patiently waiting.
Are they breathing hard?
Can't tell from this distance.
I guess I'll patiently wait and see what they're waiting on.
Okay. So finally, and you all hear and feel this. You first hear, and then feel the loud just thump. Slowly thump. Another one.
Huh?
Until, breaching the shadows of the cave, you see Thumdarak peek out with his head and slowly walk out and come to a stop in front of them.
I didn't even need to use my my slot to sense it within a mile.
Do I see this?
You want to look out the window? No. Then you don't see it. You hear it.
I see it.
Havel sees it.
I'm going to like shakily pull out the map, open it up, mark an X where we're at.
A very shaky
Fold it
X
back.
gets marked on the map.
Havel's not afraid. He's just shaking. It's not anxiety.
Of course, of course, of course.
Being the sneaky gives you the shakes, you know.
Yeah.
And
He's
so
he's tensed up from that.
and so Thumdra kind of peeks his head down, looks at it as the other two breaths kind of move the sack toward him. You see Thumdra just kind of like give a short little like nod of recognition, like, okay, that's what it is. And one of his large claws will kind of break the shadows and snag the sack by a talon and start to drag it back.
A sack.
And
I
as
can't see anything.
and
What
as
is
it
that?
as it drags, you hear just like the soft like clinks of metal against metal.
Thunar,
and
do you
stone.
smell magic?
You asking me across the room?
Across the room? No, I'm not. I have food in my beard.
Oh boy.
And then once
Is he
once he drags it up and kind of holds it to his face, he looks at it, and then with another claw, he kind of hits, and you hear a slight tearing noise as he looks inside. And then you hear kind of another great kind of almost rush of wind as you see him pull his head back, and a large jumble of green and black kind of starts twisting and swirling around his face.
I'm going to duck down and get back under that bed.
And as you do so, all you hear is just the short, brief exhale, as nothing happens around you.
Are the breaths not coming back to
Then
the?
you hear the sound of then you hear a small whisper echo across the plateau.
What's the whisper say?
Roll perception if you want to try to figure try to hear.
Golly, 15.
It's a little quiet.
I got a 15 as well.
It's a little quiet. I mean, the last time you heard these breaths, they only whispered, so it's kind of hard to hear what they say. But you hear Thumdurak's response booming again from like almost every direction. Just, I see. Deal with them. As you hear the thumps retreat back into the cave. Shortly after, you hear again the pattering of feet against stone as they start approaching to the hut. And as they get closer, they almost go there, and one of them stops while the other one starts walking up to the door. As you see the shadows kind of come in from underneath.
Uh-huh.
And then the door kind of slightly rattles a bit as it kind of slightly opens up ajar, sunlight streaming in, starting to light up the room, until you hear a sharp whisper come from behind him, and the door stops.
What's that whisper say?
Or perception again.
Come on, man.
They're whispering. What am I supposed to?
Stop rolling low. I got an 11. I gotta pull out the real die.
I got a 15 again.
No, Ethan, don't die.
Eitri, you practically ear up against the very edge of your little nook, your little pantry that you're in. Barely, you're able to hear one of these breaths whisper like, "Not now. Let us deal with the others first."
Hmm.
The doors pulled close, and the footsteps retreat. And
Until we can't hear them
After
anymore.
a minute, you cannot hear them anymore.
Okay, while I'm still in the pantry, I say, guys, I think they're gone.
I will roll out from underneath the bed.
I start looking inside of the pantry where I'm at to see if there's any more food that's not stale bread.
Roll investigation.
How big is your stomach?
7. Dadgummit.
Puke
That's
from
pretty
what?
big stomach.
That's the
Seven.
unit of measurement. Is that Eitri?
No, 7 is what I rolled. I open up the doors or whatever, and I assume hopefully I can find some cookies or something. I'm just kind of munching away. And then I say,
He's got 7 stomachs to feed.
I'm like a cow.
Oh no.
And my cud comes up. No, I'm kidding.
I just said cud.
Yeah, cows chew the cud.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you know?
Yeah, you know.
But
No.
I say
7.
I say did y'all hear what they said?
No.
Well, I think I missed a little bit of it, but one of the last things I heard, like right after they started to open the door, they said something like, wait, not now. Let's deal with the others first. And then that's when they left. So I don't know what others are talking about.
Well, in context, I would assume they're referring to our friends back in the camp. So what I'm hearing is that we would have died. We just happened to have. Well, we wouldn't have died. We would have won the fight, but we would have gotten into a fight if.
So you're saying they knew we were here?
I mean, from the way you said it, it sounded like they knew we were here. Unless they have something in
We
here.
don't have
that-
time. We've got to save the others.
But how would they know that we were here if they only cracked the door open. They didn't walk in to see any things that we would have moved around that would give us away. They only cracked the door open and then they left.
Well, Thumdurok said deal with them.
Okay. I wonder who.
So either they knew we were here, or there's something in here that they were going to do, and they said not yet.
We need to
Tunar,
find.
do you have thoughts?
We need to find a faster way back to the village to warn them.
Agreed.
Consult the map.
On the map. On the map.
I was thinking of the same thing just now.
I whip out the map. I walk over to Thunar and Eitri. And we look away, I guess, at what ways could be the quickest.
Do any of y'all have like cartography as like a skill or anything?
Roche did.
I actually.
Roche did. Dang it.
No.
I do
Alright,
miss
hey,
Roche. I know. Good character.
I have land vehicles.
That's good to know.
Ooh, I just noticed
What constitutes a land
dragons.
vehicle?
Dragons are actually one of my favorite enemies, which means I get advantage on survival checks,
That's gonna
them.
be so good for you.
as well as intelligence checks to recall information about them.
That's interesting.
That's pretty dope.
Before we set off, Seth, is there anything I can glean from this room that they may have come to look for or do before
Roll
they set out? Because it sounds like there may be something in here.
Investigation.
10.
So
Someone want to help me look for something?
I got a 14.
I'm looking on the map to see if there's a faster way home because
Okay.
all right, roll
What
me
you doing? We got-
survival, Carter. That's the only thing I can think of right now. And
I rolled on my
yeah.
D&D Beyond.
That
I can't
one.
Find my actual die.
All right, so the investigation first. Looking around Eitri and Havel, you kind of go back through some of these like baskets of belongings, and after you've kind of stirred them up, as you kind of sift through one of the cloaks, your fingers kind of hit something really hard. Not sharp, just hard.
No, I know. I just like it startled me.
And reaching in and grabbing it, you pull out, and it's a metal disc.
Thunar,
Hmm.
do you smell anything on this? And I walk up to him with the disc.
Smells like metal.
I want to inspect the disc.
All right, inspecting the disc. I won't make you roll perception. Don't
yes,
worry.
you can have it, Thunar.
As you kind of look at it, inspect it, as the sunlight reflects off of it, it indeed has a green and black sheen to it as it reflects, meaning it is infused.
Okay. So it has the curse in it.
Is this like I've been imagining this hilariously as like a CD disc with a hole in the middle?
Yeah, me too.
That's exactly how I've
Is
been
it
looking at it.
canon?
Sure, it is now.
That's the way I've been thinking of it as well. I'm just glad
Now-
I'm not alone.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of like discus, but I'm
Can
on
it be
your si- I'm on
slight?
your
Yeah,
side.
can it be?
That's what I
well,
was kind of going for.
Oh, like a hole,
Oh.
like a big
Yeah, like
Nah.
a
rolled
little like small
Like a
little
giant
frisbee
metal
disc.
plate.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's a
like about that
CD,
big.
dog. This is a CD.
But
No,
now
like
it's
one
a
of those
CD.
frisbees that's got like it's just the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Can it be that?
Oh, like hollow in the center.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Speaking of hollow,
Ethan?
Hollow Ethan?
Hollow, Ethan.
kaboom!
So, what are you thinking? Throw it out for me.
Oh,
What
you
am
actually
I-
want a drawing of the
Oh.
disc? Okay.
I'm thinking discus. Just
Yeah,
a metal
okay.
plate with like engravings on it.
So this is
Well,
what I
probably just metal.
initially had in mind. Now I'm not an artist, so.
Well, have you seen your map?
Unfortunately,
That's what I had in
Unfortunately.
mind.
dude.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
just like a
well,
metal plate.
this is what I had
Oh,
in my mind.
No. Can it have a hole in it?
You just yeah.
Put a
okay.
hole in it.
And so
I don't
what
think it
you,
matters.
what you want is something. Oh shoot, that actually came out well. Frick. Something like this.
Yeah, it'd be easier for people to carry.
I'm down for that. Actually, I feel like aesthetically I like the plate more, but this works.
So it's a Tron ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's still my idea. It's just like
We're all thinking it.
What's Tron?
So over here in the Western world,
it
there's
would- it
a
would be
movie
easier to
film
carry,
series we really
maybe.
enjoy where a man goes to a video game.
I actually have no clue what Tron's about, so thanks for that.
Yeah, Daft Punk wrote the entire soundtrack. It's really
And
sick.
It was
Actually, a
fantastic.
sick
And
soundtrack.
it's
yeah.
a cool movie.
It's
It
a
is the
sick
loudest movie
soundtrack.
I've ever seen in
it's
theaters.
so good though.
And my mom fell asleep. It just, I know.
Are y'all talking about the old Tron or the new Tron?
The newer Tron. The old Tron's
Jimmy,
Aren't they
old.
making a new one?
Are they?
think so.
They shouldn't. I feel like the last one was.
Another
They
new
are
one?
making a new one.
Kind
They're
of
making
does
a
sound like an
series.
old head, Ethan. Not gonna lie to you.
Look, it had Olivia Wilde in it. What more do you want?
Okay,
Except
Grandpa.
there's
Okay,
no
Grandpa.
verdict.
Okay, Grandpa. Okay,
Big
Grandpa.
Bummer.
Okay, Unc.
No, you're gonna get the South Park Grandpa treatment.
Okay, Grandpa. Where every
Okay,
bit of
Grandpa.
music sounds like farting.
What's your verdict?
Okay,
We
Grandpa.
can do the disc, the
Okay.
the hollow center type.
The
thing.
Tron disc.
So I had a
Awesome.
Tron disc. and
Hollow
I handed it to
disc.
Tunar.
No,
I
I'm,
need-
I'm
I
not
need to
married to
rewatch
either
Tron.
idea or the other, so it just
I am.
means that Wade was having a lot harder is gonna have a lot harder time flicking it up in the air and catching it as he's playing with it.
Yeah, he throw it in the kitchen.
He's gonna be. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna try. He's just his successfulness might.
Quit playing with the
Great.
with
Okay,
the
if I
magical
would, yeah,
cursed object.
I like this.
I feel like Carter has a secret idea that he's gonna whip out like in the big fight that we don't know yet.
If I'm not getting my freaking weapons back, these are sharp. They're gonna be sharp when I pull it.
When I'm done with them, they're gonna be sharp.
He's gonna wah wah wah.
All right, so we gotta run back to the village.
Okay.
The kobolds that changed their mind, they're all about to be massacred.
I feel like we should sprint there. How far away were we?
I mean, it was like at least 3 to 4 hour trip.
Do you think we can run
Hike.
there?
Y'all can certainly
The
try.
herd.
4-hour walk.
Because we need
turns
to get
into,
there quickly.
oof.
We could find a horse.
That's like 8 miles. Oh my gosh.
And Seth did
Yeah, I
that
was thinking
in
like
the summer.
8 to 10 mile ish.
We can make that in an hour and a half.
Shoot,
I'd
actually, it
run
might
that.
be long. Looking at the map and thinking it might be longer. 'Cause
We
y'all-
could run that in an hour.
Y'all rounded a mountain essentially.
Oh,
We
we're not
can-
making it.
Is
Oh,
there
yeah,
a
that's a lot
mountain
more than
pass?
Yeah, y'all went through it.
That was the mountain pass. Is there a shorter route? Can we Skyrim this mountain?
Jumping up like almost like 89 degree
Yeah.
angles.
Is there a horse nearby that well, 3 horses nearby that we could either steal or commandeer or?
None that you see.
So we're
I
on a
grab-
plateau. Oh, go ahead,
Okay.
Carter.
I guess if that's the only way back, can I grab the extra cloak and run?
Yeah, y'all can run. Y'all can definitely run your way back.
I'm gonna try.
Oh, poor Eitri. This will be a friggin'
I just realized
Lord
we're
of the
recreating.
Rings scene.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
This is,
recreating the Lord
they
of the
run
Rings.
as if the very masters are behind them.
Havel's like List just gracefully running. Thunar is Aragorn
Gunar's
running
Aragorn.
with gusto, and then Eitri in the back.
I mean, this
Hey,
just
no,
makes
no. This
You
is the
skim-
reverse Lord of the Rings because
Ichi's
Itri's
favorite
favorite terrain is
mountains.
mountains.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So he's
So Ichi's
scrambling
just
up
Legolas.
cliffs like a freaking goat, and
Unfortunately,
Ichi's just
Thunar is
Legolas.
stumbling behind him.
I don't.
Eitree's just Legolas.
Legolas
He's
the
the
dwarf.
dwarf version of Legolas.
This is
Eitri yells out, "Thunar,
what?
Can I ride on your back, please?
I'm like 10 miles. I'm like 10, 20 paces behind you. You're faster. All right.
Oh, I thought he was faster.
I love how
No,
this
you're in
makes
your
your
favorite
favorite
terrain.
terrain.
You're in your favorite terrain. You get anything goes here. You can do whatever you want.
You better.
But
It's the only
I thought I
time.
still had the slowest speed out of everybody in the group, though.
Oh no.
Like
You
my
might.
my distance
So,
thing is only 25,
terrain
and I think all
challenges-
y'all's is.
Terrain challenges make it to where your speed is halved. You do not suffer terrain challenges because you're in your favored terrain.
We're
So
going around
their
This is the
35
only
is half
time
to
when you're
17,
faster.
and you're
So
25
I'm the
stays the same.
fastest now.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Hey,
They like keep tripping on rocks and stuff they don't see, or
like
roots or
trees
something.
just
You're always
floating on them.
right path.
This scene of Thunar running to save some people from imminent danger reminds me of a certain perspective I have read recently. And so I know that Thunar can make that run. And I know Thunar will make that run.
Oh, I need to read the
That
Thunar
was
perspective.
flat. This is up and down though.
But,
There was a hill. There
Thunar-
was a singular hill.
There was.
listen, it was flat, but Thunar was not whole.
Mm,
Thunar's had that ankle. So,
It's true.
this is Thunar no ankle with hill. So, yeah. Saying.
there you go. There you go. All right.
I believe in Thunar.
I'm
And
finally the
Thunar,
fastest.
Havel, and Eitri begin bolting back the way they came. Eitri
I just
quickly gaining,
picture a tiny cloak on top of Thunar's head as it's like bouncing back and forth
just bobbing.
behind him.
Yeah. Ikley and Phelan.
Hello.
You all approach the village elder as he's consulting with a few other villagers.
You said Wade's playing with the disc. real quick.
Wade is trying to flip it, and like he's obviously having some trouble because like right where his thumb's supposed to like flick it is that there's a hole, so it kind of just like flings it rather than.
As,
Flick.
as it's like flipping in the air at one point, I want to like snatch it and be like, did anybody ever tell you not to play with cursed objects? What kind of common sense do y'all have in your freaking
It's not.
stratum?
It's not cursed. It's just infused with a curse. There's a big difference.
I
got a
should
point.
slap you upside the head with this. It doesn't matter. Cursed or not cursed. Mess with it.
Okay.
Here.
He kind of
Hold it.
takes it and reverently like puts it inside his vest, and then he takes out his notebook and writes something down.
Thank you. That's so much better. I appreciate that. That's so. Oh my gosh. It's like hurting children here.
He
Thanks.
writes down, Phelan is a bitch.
That's kind of that is what it's like.
Phelan thinks I hurt children.
Look, I just don't want you to accidentally cause that thing to go off or something, by accident, because, it's just it would be. I might feel a little bad because I did force you on this trip. So, just don't get yourself cursed.
Are you worried for me?
Zip it.
Okay. This thing wouldn't be the first time I've been cursed.
I guess there's no such thing as zippers here. So button it.
So you approach the elder, and he kind of like sees you approach There's a and good market for
Mm.
nods in greeting as you
You have
walk
zip
up.
on armor. Gosh, that would suck.
Hello.
Great elder. Would we be able to speak with you in private for a few moments?
Looks at you. Looks at Ikley and Wade. Indeed. Follow me. I'll take you to my tent.
Thank you.
And he goes to a larger tent within the village and just pulls a flap open and walks inside. There's like some semblances of furniture here, like a kind of low couch and like a small kind of like flat table with no legs, just kind of like a board on the ground. A few kind of rug-like objects, not exactly fur, but close enough. Yes, what is it you want to speak to me of?
Well, remember when we spoke about ask questions and seeking answers earlier?
Yes.
Oh. Well, we've come with some questions that perhaps you can help us in finding the answers for.
Under the sunlight. Sorry.
With all these
Absolutely.
dealings and new ideas and thoughts coming through, we have been doing our own investigations prior to our arrival here. As such, uh, what do you know about about what you do with the metal that you give to the Great Speaker?
Well, we are told to gather the metal as it helps purify the land from the influence of the traitor. Though, seeing as recent revelations, well, let's not get into my muddled mind for right now. What do you know
Very
of
well.
it?
Well, now gesture to Wade. We have some of what this metal becomes. What the first town that we came to is one of the places of the voices, one of the voices. And we've seen what they turn this metal into. And we think we know what its purpose is, but we're hoping that perhaps you might have information that we do not, being an elder of the tribes.
If you want to know anything that happens to them after we give it off, I know nothing. We are taught that it is brought to the Great Speaker and he cleanses it for us.
Very well. Well, at the very least, we can show you so that you can see for yourself what becomes of what you send to the Great Speaker.
Wade will kind of take the disc out and place it on the ground in front of him. Now, hold very still. Ikely, you may do the honors.
Yeah. Do I break it?
Yeah, absolutely. As
Sorry,
upon
I was like shoveling
no, you're
food
fine.
in my mouth as you said.
Upon-
I was like,
Upon
oh.
pulling
Give
out
me
the
some.
upon pulling out the disc, the elder kind of like stiffens a little bit,
I-
but
what-
doesn't run away. Kind of just like
A moment before you break it, likely. I just want the elder to see what it is that the Great Speaker is doing with what they give him. I'll.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I snap it.
how do you want to break
Okay.
it?
How
How-
do I want to break it?
Yes,
I just want to try to. Well, it's metal though, right?
it is metal.
I'll try with my knee first. I might break my knee, but it's
Roll
fine.
a strength check.
I don't have that. I guess I could try to melt it, but well, that would make sense since he's a dragon, right? Because it would just melt all of them. I don't know. I'll try breaking it first, then I'll try to melt it.
All right.
I'll play the game right. Let me get there because it exited me out of D&D. Okay, strength.
Yes, strength.
Okay.
What was that, Josiah?
I was just gonna say,
Oh, I got a 15.
not bad. These discs as we have here that we can show you is what the forge masters of the voice tribes, the voice villages turn all
Where
the
my
metal that
country
you
gone?
give them into. These are then given to the Great Speaker, and he uses it to store curses.
He kind of looks with like
You see,
not skeptical, just like thoughtful, like
the Great Speaker's
furrowed eyebrows,
power
narrowed eyes.
is not as infinite or all-encompassing as he might have you to believe. You see, he is indeed a powerful being, being a dragon, but he can cast great curses, but only once a day. And the way that he has circumvented this is using devices such as this, where he's able to store those curses that he does not use in a day in order to pull on them and draw upon them later.
As you finish, Ikley, your knee slams into this disc, and it kind of bends concave, kind of bends at a point in half. But it's still intact. And Wade will frown at it.
So, are you still going?
No, that was just Wade's reaction, just frowning at it.
I was gonna ask.
Mhm.
You said, okay, so we know that it's magical. You said it was just a disc, but is there anything that's like outlining the disc? Is there anything that's like showing that it has power that's lit up?
Just the like when you reflect it off of light, like the light that reflects
Okay.
off of it is like that greenish black color.
Because I was gonna try to like pierce that if that helps.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Let's try to melt it. Or do one of you guys want to try to break it?
If I may, Wade will take off his pack, fiddle through it, pull out a small little like mini hand axe, just like proffers it toward Ikley.
Oh, cool. Okay. I do it like all. Oh, what are those people that do that?
Lumberjack.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, the
All right.
image was in my head. but I
Roll
couldn't
another
think of it.
strength check.
Okay.
The tiniest gecko just walked in my room. Where'd you go, little butter?
What'd you say?
Oh, I got a 4.
Oh.
Where'd you go?
I hand it back to Wade. Can you try?
Hands it offers it toward Phelan.
It'll be much better. I'll take it and I'll try to hit it.
It dented a little bit again from Ikley's hit, so Phelan.
I got a 6.
6 dents a little bit, and like if you pick it up, a small little crack is seen from it. Wade will kind of grab the axe. If I die, I'm blaming you guys.
Okay, that's fine. Hit it.
Fair.
And you'll just kind of lay it down and then swing and slam it down, and on that final hit, it'll kind of split in two, broken where the blade hit the metal, and the small kind of wisps almost of green and black instantly shoot up into the air and begin twirling about each other. Not too much, about like as much to like hold up like your hand, to like make up your hand. Kind of begin spinning about until they kind of coalesce into another, and then shoot towards someone. And it shoots toward the Elder.
I will dive in front of the Elder.
As you dive in front of it, it kind of like just like brushes around you, kind of like a flowing stream would go around you, and it just goes into the Elder, who kind of like takes a small step back and then stands there still for a bit. And
Elder.
nothing happens.
Are you okay?
I feel fine. Oh.
Can I roll an Arcana check?
Absolutely.
I was here. 23.
To your shock and surprise, the same feeling you got from the coin of being filled with this kind of energy is now coming from the Elder. However, instead of, like the idea of it being brimming, like almost full, it's now like just like, like a couple cups in of like a gallon. Not much. It still has a room for a lot more.
Yeah.
So, can the Elder curse, or is the Elder cursed? Like, you understand my question?
Well, This is new and interesting.
See
It
Wade
seems
kind of like moving, like, I knew it. I knew it. That was my hunch.
so.
Technically, I knew it. I wrote it in my notes.
This is not
I was
Wade
just-
violently starts scribbling in his own notes.
well, Elder. It
tell him
seems
it's okay.
that
I stole it from his notes.
we might be slightly mistaken in a little wording, but perhaps it is not a curse that is stored within this, but simply the Great Speaker's power itself to cast those curses,
So what happened?
which now no longer resides and is stored in that disc, but is now in you.
What? And just as he gives his reaction, you hear a lot of shouting come from outside.
Oh no.
You know, we really gotta get to
Thank you.
you know,
I don't want
Sin later. To not metagame right now, but I really want to.
She has ideas.
Caroline said to
I
tell you
really,
whether
I
she
have
made
a list of
cookies.
questions.
Why?
for her, and
No,
I was
no,
like,
I want
what if
cookies.
it's
Can I
not
have one?
metagame?
Then you go make cookies.
Wait, can I
Huh?
have one, Caroline?
What? Oh, she says cookies for you guys specifically.
Oh,
Huh?
gimme.
Boneless cookies in the mail soon, guys.
Ooh, let's go.
I
bet you they
apologize.
hold up fine.
You're good. You're good. Tombstone, we're going back to you. As you sit in your meditation, quiet, like no words, and you are famished. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how much time, how long you've been in here. You don't see the sun rise, you don't see it set. You're not unfamiliar with, living in caves, but the hours have dragged on. You're not really sure even like how many days have passed or what day it is or what time of day it is. As you've sat here meditating and pretty much preparing yourself for what's to come. And as you sit there and surrounded by gold and metal and other objects, between the screams and the people still calling out for you, a new noise comes in. One that you're not expecting, but one that can't help but draw your attention. Echoing through the cave, almost piercing the noises that you've pretty much grown numb to at this point, is the single sound of a drop. That's it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
And then shortly after, another one of a droplet hitting metal.
At this point, you'd be hard pressed to get me to believe anything that's going on in here, Seth.
No, he's got a point.
So, Tombstone, even in his somewhat delirious, famished state, is going to recognize this as just another trick. Doomdarak was playing mind games, and Tombstone will not give him the satisfaction of waning even another ounce of his remaining energy.
You said the thing.
And I will continue to sit, to meditate.
And as you sit and meditate, the sound of the drop comes back down, slaps against wood, not wood, metal again. As it's just a continuous, at this point, like every 5 to 8 seconds, just drip, drip, drip coming from above as you sit in the cave. Give me another exhaustion point, please.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Ooh. There could have been 2 if I went to go find it and it wasn't there.
Let's do Sin and Briar. And
Yeah.
now Ikley and Phelan, because you're approaching the village that you came from. And as you approach, well, I'll let you decide how you react to this sight, but you see something as you approach. You see a mob of villagers.
Who sees this?
Ikley and Sin, or I say Briar and Sin, and you, Phelan and Ikley, if y'all went out to see what all the noise was.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
This is what you'd see. You'd see a mob of actions or villagers, right, like swarming the village as they like upend tents. They use metal tools to like crash down any wooden buildings they see, as some of them are even beginning to attack other villagers.
Sorry, that's how
Elder,
Tombstone
I think we must do something.
As the elder will walk out and it's like in the horde, just, by the great speaker, what's happening?
The people are revolting, but this is not. They're revolting against the wrong side, against their own. They don't even realize it.
The elder rushes off to go and try to bring some modicum of
Perhaps
order.
Perhaps I can get their attention for you, Great Elder.
Please.
I would like to cast Shatter in the air, so where
Yeah.
nobody can get harmed. But it's thunder damage, so I believe that it's fairly loud.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
So I would like it to be like kind of like almost like over them, but also over us a little bit, so like kind of directs their attention towards where the sound came from, which will be over here near where the Great Elder is.
Right.
So
You cast that, it sounds off as villagers, both with yellow and this new sort of there's some that have, various different scale colors. Some are also the yellow color from the people from before. Some are like now like a bluish color, like a cobalt colored scales, and others are like other sheens of metallic colors as they all start raiding, and they all look toward your direction, and like a small hush kind of falls over there briefly before one of them points and outsiders! They're using outsiders against us!
listen to your elder before anything. I merely wish to get your attention.
The elder will step up. Please stop this. We did not ask for violence. Until one of the yellow scaled ones comes up from before and says, "You asked for violence the second you defied the great speaker. The breaths have come to us. They've told us what to do. This is our test." As some begin to continue their raid, their pillaging.
Fine, but if we win, we get to take your capes and stuff.
So you continue to blindly follow a leader who's been lying to you. One who harbors power for himself.
What, just because a few outsiders tainted with metal come in and tell us otherwise?
How many of them? I suggest that you should listen to your elder, who has just witnessed.
Sin, to answer your question, it's like at least like a village worth of people here.
So if they all get in one big, like, say, what is it, 30-foot diameter? Or is it
I
radius?
like where you're headed.
Eitri, you're the first one to arrive. As you come in from the pass, and as you get back to the village, you see it currently. Well, if they had a means to start a fire, it'd be smoking and on fire. But you just see them like upturning tents, pushing people, like shoving people away. Some are getting a little more violent as you approach.
Can I find the others in our team?
Yes, Havel and Thunar are a little ways behind you.
But what about the others? that are...
like spot the others. Yes. Yeah, I'll say within the crowd you'll see Phelan Eichley and the village elder talking to one of the kind of aggressors, I'll say, as others behind them are going about their raid.
Okay, well, I run up to them and I say, "The breaths are coming! The breaths are coming! The breaths are coming!"
Oh my God.
Well, you're a little late
The
there,
British,
Eitri.
I mean the
So
British.
you see,
The British,
so you
the breaths
see
have sent them.
Eitri
The British are
like
coming.
shoving through this like tumultuous crowd.
Tumultuous.
Actually, Eitri.
Are you writing Fenris right now?
Yeah, Eitri, I'm gonna need you to take 3 damage as you find your way into a stray, like wooden club that comes flying around and smacks into you
Okay.
as you go through this crowd.
Yes, thank you for letting us know, Eitri. These, the aggressors have come on the orders of the breaths. I do not know if they're coming or not, but regardless. Elder, can you feel the magic?
I don't know what to feel for. It's like asking if a bird knows what water, or I guess what it's like to swim.
Just try for me.
All right. Anybody else? As he does this, I'll say you all approach on this scene of this village being pretty much pillaged.
My
Anything y'all
gosh,
wanna
if it's
do?
bad here, imagine what they're doing to Tombstone.
Tombstone, right now.
So is this a peaceful protest, or are they like actually like?
Oh, it is
violent.
not peaceful. It is violent.
People are fighting right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It's very peaceful. It's a very
peaceful
peaceful protest.
protest.
Very peaceful. Very
No,
peaceful.
it's peaceful. It's peaceful.
Very
only
peaceful,
a
very
little bit
peaceful,
of
very-
looting.
Only
Yeah.
a little bit of looting and 11 burning cars, and you know.
No, very
There's
peaceful.
Tombstone. There's Tombstone, guys.
Tombstone, where'd you go?
This is a peaceful, like Detroit, Chicago style riot. Okay, very
Carter.
peaceful.
You
Oh,
opened
yeah.
these pack of crackers upside down. It was already open.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Got her.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't. I
yes,
got a
it-
new one out of the
Huh?
bag.
This is the side that was already open. This is the side that Carter opened.
You got demolished.
Carter.
He has video
Oh,
evidence.
thank you.
I love Colton and
Wait,
I
what I
love
missed?
Colton joining in while
He
doing
opened a pack of
fetal
crackers
position.
upside down. And they were already
That's
open.
cool. That's literally
Hold on, I can't hear Caitlin. What
And
did you
then
say?
that's what Tombstone
What I
feels like
missed?
right now.
Caitlin, what?
Yeah.
Caitlin, what happened? I
He's
didn't hear
not. He's abusing me, so now I get to sue him. Carter.
The crackers.
Are those saltines?
Yeah.
Dude,
But
I
no.
want some saltine
Dude,
crackers right now.
saltines would
Holy
go
crap.
He came to
crazy.
come get some, but
Are
it
y'all
was already
insane?
open, and he opened them up.
Dude,
right
saltines
now.
are awesome.
Saltines
So
are like
it
one of
was-
the best crackers ever, Nate.
Open too
Saltines
late.
What are y'all? Oh my gosh! What's wrong?
I like club crackers better.
Club crackers
Nate.
are better,
in
but
Canada,
saltines.
John?
You're talking
take
to a homeschooled Christian
You
dude.
can't
I'm gonna
even
like the
compare
bland.
the two.
I like
I'm gonna
goldfish.
Let me tell you-
best.
let me
the
tell you something,
blandest
Nate.
of.
Nate,
Hey,
my
saltine
church.
crackers go really good with a slice of Gouda cheese.
No, they do,
I like
but
them with
Nate,
Sprite.
my church would like the kids. You know, have you ever seen like the little buggies for kids at mega churches, Nate? You worked at one. I feel like they would have one.
I've only
What the
ever gone to
fuck?
mega churches, okay, except for
Okay,
first.
so you know what I'm talking about? The little buggies that kids ride around on?
Yes.
So ours was the brat buggy. I learned very quickly, if I cried, I got on the brat buggy. And on the brat buggy, they give us saltine crackers. So from a little age, from a 3-year-old,
Dude, is that where you
before
started
that,
planning to get things?
I learned how to become a con man just to get saltine crackers. Every Sunday, I would wail and scream and cry, and I would get saltine crackers.
You cracked
That's a
it.
lot
are
of
some
work.
of the
That's
best.
a lot of work
I'm,
for a
I'm-
mediocre
I'm not
cracker.
saying saltine crackers are bad. They're just fine. So y'all's love, oh man, it'll go crazy right now. It's like, it's still just a saltine cracker.
You're
It's like,
telling me you
air.
don't like nearly choking on every dust of the Sahara possible
it's all right.
with just added salt?
Don't
Listen,
worry,
I
dude.
like eating a cracker and having my entire mouth drained
Mhm.
of any hydration.
Yeah.
This is what Tombstone's mouth feels like
Dude.
right now.
I could crush like I used to crush like 2 sleeves of saltines,
Mhm.
like just
Oh,
in general.
easily. I can easily crush a
I love
sleeve.
them.
Yeah,
I love them
What-
in soup.
What
so
is
that might
wrong
be
with
me.
all of you?
it's
Hey,
normal.
Nate,
I
Nate,
know
I
more
agree with
people-
you, Nate. I'm not a
Oh, shut up, Teddy
saltine
Grahams.
fan. Yeah, Teddy Grahams. I like goldfish too. If I eat a
Me
cracker,
too.
it has to
Hey,
be
I'll
goldfish.
shake your hand on that one.
I like the
Goldfish is the
whales.
best
I love
cracker.
goldfish.
Whales.
Goldfish
Whales
over
go
whales.
hard.
Goldfish over whales.
Kate is a
agree.
name
Hey.
brand person. Kate is a name brand kid.
I don't know. It just
What?
makes
Where
me
is your
feel- I
name
put
brand?
You know,
I
I'll
like
tell y'all
goldfish.
this too. I was telling people at work last week that there's like a debate down south where we're from about goldfish versus whales. Nobody had ever heard of whales up here.
Same. Nobody had ever heard of whales here
What's
except for this
that?
one other guy named Carter. It wasn't me.
Guess it's a Carter
Oh, it was
thing.
different part, sure.
It's just a
Yeah, it's
Carter.
kind of dangerous.
Today he told me his middle name was almost
Correlation doesn't mean
Ray.
causation.
That's crazy.
His middle name was
Well, you
almost
know what I
Ray, and I
can't
was like,
help but
that's freaking
notice?
crazy.
Seth, why didn't you lecture Ethan when he said buggy? Huh? Is that just something you did to me?
Well, no, because they didn't shove him in a shopping cart.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
sorry.
did you say buggy for a shopping cart?
She did. She did.
You hick.
Cart.
You hick.
Hey, y'all stop that, okay?
You wouldn't call it a
She's from
stroller.
Shreveport. She
It's a
can't help it.
Can't help it.
I agree, it's a buggy.
Listen,
I
you're
grew
gonna
up-
call it a
listen,
buggy if you
listen,
put
hey.
a baby in it. It's a stroller, goober.
I grew up, it was a buggy. And I've broken out of that because, you know, I had to refine my speech. But some people don't care to put that energy into that and would just
No,
want
it's
to
a
say
buggy.
buggy. Let them
Listen.
say buggy.
I have never heard of.
It's a
I've never
fun
called it a
word.
buggy.
Guys,
That's
the
a
AI
fun
told
word.
me that whales came before goldfish, so
The AI
No.
told you.
yeah.
It was
well,
OG.
That can't be true.
Carter. I don't want to hear Carter saying anything about
Oh
the
yeah,
AI
Google,
said this.
Google the first person to backflip, okay?
No, look, I'm making fun of it because the
First person
Google.
in the back, so
I
it was
googled which
me.
came first, the whales or the goldfish, and Google
Chicken or
AI
the
was like,
egg?
oh, animals, and I'm like, no, the freaking crackers.
The crackers. The cheese crackers, not the actual animal.
I could have sworn goldfish were first.
Okay, Alexandra,
are.
what do you call
Yes,
this?
I was
2000.
thinking of
Hey,
evolutionary.
Whales came out the year I was born. Woohoo! 2001, baby.
You were
What a
born in
year.
2001?
Me
Yes.
too.
You're
I was
old.
too.
Me
2001
too.
Kids, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all are all 2001. Gross.
Whales are so bland compared to goldfish.
1999.
I'm. Hey,
Oh,
am I the baby
Dad.
here? No, wait. Caitlin's the baby here. Caitlin, you're 02, right?
Hey,
You're
you
02. Was it?
baby.
Yeah.
I'm an 01 from October.
Mm-mm.
Ah, child.
That's
Unk.
I
I
was
was in
June.
March.
I'm not that much.
that's
older.
we've
Oh,
already
Peggy.
established
Great,
what that's called.
What is it? Cradle robber?
Oh my gosh.
No, not really.
Gross.
Me, Carter, and Seth are all
he
from March.
pre-ordered.
You pre-ordered? God.
No, I didn't. Pre-ordered. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Refocusing.
All in all, saltines.
What a
Are you
freaking
British?
tangent! My God.
I'm English for sure.
I'm
Oh, I'm
reporting
gonna go
this
trolley.
message.
Mouth.
Oh, I gotta go get my trolley to put my
Going to
groceries
trolley
on.
to
Or
get
anything.
my
Discord's
chocolate
annoying.
frog.
So y'all are finally showing your true
Anything
accent.
from the trolley.
Anything from the trolley. Trolley.
Okay. So, violent. Back to the violent. Riotous.
Peaceful protest.
Sure.
So are we already fighting them? Are y'all already fighting them, or is it just like a?
So
they have
right now the
pitchfork-
conflict is between the villagers themselves.
Do I see it?
Nobody. Yes, y'all. I was about to say, Havel and Thunar, you finally catch up to Eitri as you kind of round the this mountain pass that y'all been through. Looking back on the village, that's the sight you see of people going up, like kind of mainly it's just the villagers, fighting against each other in this sort of pillage / raid / protest. And similar to the other street scenes I described, like if they had anything to catch, they could catch things on fire, it'd be on fire, but it's not. So instead they're just upending tents, smashing down any buildings that they can, and they have like wooden clubs and other such things that they're using to do so. As some of the villagers are fleeing, and some of them are getting a little more hostile by the second.
Me too.
Does the elder
I
anything? Because I'll start
Oh.
blasting.
Yes. No, he doesn't. He just looks up and just like shrugs and shakes his head.
Very well. We cannot prove much to them, and they seem beyond reason.
I would like to waste no time, and I would like to run into the fight. Mm-hmm. And just go on like the full defensive for the people. All right, so Thunar starts doing that, and I try to touch them all. Touch them all with the metal I have in my pocket. So he pulls out this metal. He pulls out this metal, and almost like a warding, like sigil or artifact. They kind of like all a small bubble is created around Thunar as he holds up this metal, keeping them at bay.
Are we listening to a lullaby?
How many
Oh,
of them are
my
there? Because
bad.
I really would like to start cutting them down. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's get a little more.
Are they still fighting, or am I
Yes, they're
keeping
still
them all
fighting.
at bay? Well, then I'm
no,
gonna
there's,
touch
there's,
the ones
there's
that are
like
fighting.
there's like a whole village worth of people here start like causing this
take
chaos.
If they won't stop fighting, I'm gonna touch them with the metal. Make them go get a bath.
Roll
Elder,
a hit. Yes.
Do you wish for us to get involved?
The elder kind of looks to you, and then the crowd, and back to you. He's like,
21.
I do not wish to hurt any of the people, but I also know that if no one intervenes, all those who do not agree with the antagonizers here will perish.
Make sure there's as little bloodshed as possible.
As soon as I hear that, I cut down the first one I see.
I clap.
All right.
Good job.
Thunar, you get a few of them, and they kind of uncomfortably retreat and start going to cleanse themselves.
I'm targeting the bad ones.
Sin, you cut down one of them clean with your rapier. As the elder kind of seeing that starts to object, but kind of doesn't really know how to feel about it. So I wasn't gonna do a combat for this. Instead, I was just gonna kind of ask what everyone wants to do to either stop or
let this thing run its course, whatever you want to do. And then we'll kind of wrap it up that way. So, anything in particular someone wants to do to quell this sort of raid, or do you just want to kind of just generally kind of try to
You know my
act against
plan.
it?
Is there a? I know there's not, but like, is there a way that I can like kind of like close to like where the line between the two groups is, that I can get a straight shot? I know it's not directly up against the line, because I know obviously that's not gonna be a fully straight line, but I want a straight line of the aggressors close to the front lines.
That's a good idea. So now it's kind of progressed to just kind of like a big mass of just chaos. It seems that everyone's just attacking anyone with the yellow scales. There are a few that have yellow scales that have like a white kind of like scarf thing, almost kind of tied around their necks, and they're being avoided. They're with the aggressors. So it's just kind of like a big jumbled mess of a battle, like practically a battlefield of these people going up against each other.
Is that one kobold still up near us, the one that was speaking with us?
Yes, he would have turned away and like walked, but he's nearby and you can see him. With
I'm gonna call out to him.
He'll kind of turn, looking like kind of just disdainfully.
You have brought this on yourself, and I really hope that you're prepared to die for this. And I would like to cast Shatter, centered around whatever group he's with, whatever of his people that he's around.
Is there a save for that?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
He's gonna fail.
All right.
How much damage is that?
Oh, it'll be a doozy. Not casting it super high though, so where my dice at? Getting my good dice. That will be 14 thunder damage.
All right, and so the this ear-piercing sound, I think if I remember correctly, kind of just rings out as everyone hears a sound kind of just explode from the center of this group or whatever, as I'd say a group of about 5 or so just fall to the ground holding their ears in pain as they drop to the ground, kind of just writhing from the pain.
Not unconscious, not dead?
Not unconscious, not dead. They're but they're on the
more
ground.
hardy than that. Okay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to quell anything, does it?
I mean, that group is quelled, but everyone else
But,
is...
like,
overall, no, they're still going
overall.
strong.
Okay.
Anything else any other people want to do?
Never mind.
I'm going to continue doing exactly what I've been doing.
All right. You see a
I'll
small...
try to rally everybody.
All right, roll... Sorry,
let
continue.
Carter go first.
Oh no, Carter's just going to continue doing what he's been doing.
Carter, sorry. I thought you were going to say something else before I interrupted
Oh,
him.
no.
Well, no, I'm just gonna go like run through and like when they're unsuspecting, just
Just punk,
like, just
tap them with
punk.
the metal. Yeah.
You gotta go metal,
Call out metal as you do so.
unclean, filthy.
Go wash. All right, so what were you saying?
I'd like to start shouting as shouting for the truth or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not that phrase, but for the truth,
Right.
and try to rally everybody together to try to form some kind of order.
All right. Roll. I'm trying to think of what charisma roll you could do for that. I guess just a charisma check then.
First nat one.
Ooh, a nat 1.
The way I can fail something with charisma.
So you You try to start rallying these people, but it seems that over the chaos, your voice is lost as people are mainly just running around trying to get out of the way of danger rather than fight back. A small bubble is forming around Thunar as he's somewhat creating a front line by warding them off with with one of the metal discs.
I want to respect the Elder's wishes, but I mean, I can end this. I can help end this pretty quickly.
Anything else other people want to do as this raid is beginning to run its course? Okay. Then everyone else would just kind of watch on as these raiding villagers, these aggressors, start moving deeper into the village, upending things.
Oh, I mean, if we could still keep doing things, if they're gonna just keep pushing through, I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah. What
I'll
would you like to do?
I mean, you know what I'm gonna do.
All right.
I don't want to, but if they're gonna continue aggressing like that,
What's the damage?
I'm fainted and I cast fireball.
let's see. $32.
Oh gosh! As an explosion erupts from the center of the village where most of the people had been working, as fire spreads throughout and a few people cry out in pain and there's a few screams in shock and horror until as the flames settle down, about a good 8 to 10 of the aggressors just lay charred on the ground as the rest of them look surprised and shocked, oh frick.
And I'll stand there with another fireball ready to my hand and be like, I can keep going.
And
I do not want to, but I can
start
keep going.
nudging each other and they start retreating and falling back and running away, essentially in a crazed mess of chaos, just as much chaos as they were causing.
Okay, well, as long as they're
laughing.
leaving.
A few of them are running into the river, some to clean, some to douse fires.
As long as they're starting to retreat. I'll turn to the Elder and I'm sorry I had to do that.
Oh, it's okay. You did what needed to be done. And then slowly, as they leave in the aftermath, the yellow scale, the villagers will kind of slowly start to come back and assess the damage and just look at the destroyed tents. Some charred, some burnt up, others just wrecked and destroyed, stomped on, torn up. As they kind of just inspect it and with just I'm not finding the word, just very solemnly just somber, that's the word. Very somber as they just look around the half, almost 3/4 destroyed village. Karu will walk up to the party if they've congregated. Well, that was unexpected, though at least I should have seen it coming.
Oh. We're starting to step on Thunderek's toes, so
Yes.
it makes sense that he would send the lowest of his people to do his dirty work.
I think that's a very common theme for him. Though I see there's one thing here that is quite apparent to me as he looks around to the destroyed village. As I look around at this, these actions, these villagers, shakes his head slightly. They're unarmed. They need to be able to fight back.
What do you have in mind?
Well, thankfully, as well, things were looking good for Connie Inn as I was leaving. Thankfully, I know just the place where we can get about a clan's worth of weapons. Granted, there'll be tooths. There'll be made of tooths and other things, but there's something.
Where to?
As you kind of like gesture for everyone to like come together. All right. Here's my idea. We take the survivors. We bring them to the Fangtooth clan. Or at least what's left. Tombstone brought us there. And they had some spears that we can use. I say we arm them up. Train them as much as we can. And see what we can do with them. As we travel, as he points to Ikley and Phelan, I want to hear on anything you found. And as he points to Thunar and Eitri and Havel, I hope you found something.
This cloak.
Well,
Find anything else?
we found that disc. We found the horde.
And we found a hut.
And yes, we did find a hut. We found Thumdarok.
Oh. Good. Alright then. Well, as he kind of... Let's get going. We've got an army to build. As he starts walking off in the direction that, well, y'all came from. Any other last things y'all want to do?
Oh, can I get that other disc, guys?
The other disc.
I hand him the one that's not infused.
Yeah, we don't really have another one
Ah,
now.
here it is.
Holds up the broken in half disc.
What happened?
Part of our research. Turns out it's not really like curse that's in there, more just the power to cast a curse. Because as soon as this one broke, the green and black misty stuff came out and then went straight to the elder. And now
that's
that
that's like
magic
what
is
happened in the tunnel.
Did you notice anything change in the Elder?
other than the fact that he had magic, he now
And now has more magic?
held magic within himself. Nothing.
Okay.
He couldn't
I didn't know
access
if his
it.
demeanor changed or not. I couldn't remember.
I didn't
in the
see
tunnel,
anything.
Yeah.
in the cave, when Tombstone and I were captured. That happened, but the magic was taken from a kobold to Thumdarok.
Interesting. I don't know.
So is he draining the powers from the people he keeps? Is that because he traps kobolds? Or are you saying that he took power from the kobolds, so if he keeps them in his little wherever world, and that's where I'm pulling Tombstone's wife from, is he like stealing power from them?
Whoa.
This person was alive after.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost like, do we... I know Tombstone's wife is dead, but her spirit is alive, and that kind of makes me wonder if she's really dead.
I think I'm quite dead.
You think so? Okay. Well. Okay. If you don't want me to try to bring you back.
I mean, if you're gonna try to bring me back, at least kill Thumdrak first.
Well, duh. Well, maybe he's just not letting you guys move on, I guess, so to say, if everybody's dead. I mean, he's obviously not letting you move on now, but you can't truly, like, go and rest. He's got to be keeping you for a reason other than to torture people.
Just kind of shrugs. Maybe. We've reached far outside the realm of what I know and understand.
Me too.
Well, you're handling it like a champ. As the rest of the party moves on and makes their way toward the Fang Tooth clan tombstone. You sit there in your meditative process. What's going through your mind right now? As you sit, starved, parched.
So it was, I'm doing everything I can to avoid thinking about, the situation that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, right now everything feels just a little bit hopeless. So first, I thought about, my son and how angry I was that Thumdrak took him from me and squashed his future. Then I realized, anger's a good motivator in the moment, but it wanes quickly. But the will behind anger, the reason that it's there, is something more firm. And I began to think about all of the kobolds that have been done injustice by Thumdrak. And those that could still be protected, if he were to be taken down. And with those thoughts, I reflected on the star of Tahel. Strength and will. And I quelled the rage inside my heart and replaced it with resolve.
And with those
And then I started to think about how hungry I am. And how freaking thirsty, and how I wish this god dragon drop of water would stop dripping. Because I know it's fake. Because I know it's fake, I'm able to find peace in its the serenity of its noise. And with those thoughts, I reflect on Katorel, the star of peace and perseverance. And then I hear all my friends calling out to me. And while I know that they aren't real or here, I know what they represent. I know that they represent the friends who are desperately struggling and fighting and, probably gooning just a little bit to find what Thumdrak's weakness is, to find his lair, and to join me in the final fight that is to come. And so with those thoughts, I reflect on Dragon Nor, the star of family and friendship. And then I hear the screams. But every scream, every clanmate that I hear is a bit of my past returned to me. And as I sort through and just listen and hear their voices, I begin to recognize friends, hatchmates, rivals. And with those thoughts, I reflect on Roland Fee, the star of joy and memories. And there's that one pesky star that's left. The one that I can't seem to get figured out. And that's the one I'm currently meditating on. The star of Vonic Star. Death and acceptance.
And as these thoughts, over the long, long hours that, well, could be going by quickly or could be crawling at a snail's pace, you're not sure. As you sit there, and your thoughts kind of rest on Vonic Star, on death and acceptance, remembering your party, what they've done for you, your clan, family, friends, and the memories you have, the strength and will that you're trying to show in this seemingly hopeless situation, and the peace and perseverance you feel. You feel your strength near its end as you take another point of exhaustion.
How many
And
points
there-
is that?
With one final breath, Tombstone dies.